when we did our top 10 prospects in the NBA, it was before Zion Williamson had even played a game in early January. We still ranked him number 2. The number 1 overall player on that list was Luka Doncic, and these two playing each other the first time tonight.
It's incredibly exciting, and two young stars, potential stars in one case, that succeed in dramatically different ways. And so you and I doing live commentary is a fun way to analyze that. Zion still really needs to grow a lot defensively, but is just an absolute force offensively. Luka has been the driving force behind the league's best offense, and that is remarkable for a 20-year-old.
Yeah, and we've seen both these teams coming off of disappointing losses. Mavs blew a big lead to the Bulls in Chicago. Kristaps Porzingis did not play in that game, and the Pels lost at home to the Wolves. Zion Williamson put up his usual stat line, but faded late in the fourth quarter, was not able to get it going against the Timbers-Wolves zone. So it's interesting. I mean, the way I really like to analyze some of these players, we're talking about guys who presumably are going to be faces of the NBA for the next 10 years. And I'm already thinking about both of these guys. We know that they're already really good regular season players. It's what are their weaknesses? And that's why you're watching this show, right? We don't need you to tell you, ooh, Zion dunked, that's awesome. You can get that other places. So we're going to try and focus in on these guys just more, hey, where are the nuances in their game? What are they so good at now, but also where can they stand to get better, at basically both of them 20 and 19 years old right now.
Yeah, and we might get a chance to see both of them in the postseason. Dallas is basically a lock, and New Orleans, with a win like this one, could end up getting closer to being there. And also, of course, these players will adapt over time, but whether Luka's step back and so many other parts of his offensive game translate, and this will be an interesting test for both of those, especially now with Kristaps Porzingis and Maxi Kleber starting in the front court for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, and we will begin here momentarily. Kristaps Porzingis playing center defensively. Interesting that Kleber is starting. He's been coming off the bench at times. You imagine that it'll be Kleber getting the Zion assignment early here, but we'll see Porzingis able to come over and help position against Zion down low. And we've seen Zion, the only time he's even remotely struggled this season has been a couple of times against the Lakers in that first game in LA and then against the Bucks. But Porzingis is that level of a rim protector. Favors finds Lonzo Ball wide open, and he drains it. He's coming off 7 of 10 from downtown last night in that loss to the Wolves.
And Ball is so much more confident shooting that shot. There was zero hesitation. He was a couple of feet behind the arc, too.
Yeah, still never gets to the foul line, of course. Here's Porzingis, who has been on a tear himself. They tried to run a little pick and roll with him as the ball handler, and they get it underneath to Finney-Smith. And there you see Zion not really helping at all. He's plastered to Kleber. That's not something that he's been any good at, is helping right now. Here's Favors, finds Ball on the weak side. Can he make it 2 for 2? Yup.
Can. And their Ball took the shot instead of getting it into Zion, who's posted up. But Kleber was holding him decent position there.
Doncic as Finney-Smith slips the screen. Now they get into the main action with Porzingis. Oop to Porzingis, attacking on that weak side pick and roll. They emptied the side out, and now Zion trying to get a deep post up on Kleber. He's been excellent at that. Pick and roll now with Ingram. They don't switch that. Ingram going into the mix on the drive, and you see Kleber did not want to help. He's saying, hey, Porzingis, you got to come help off of Favors because we don't want to help off of Zion because you get it to him around the rim and it's a bucket.
And that's 3 quality looks for New Orleans in the early going.
Porzingis deep, closed down by Favors. Doncic double teamed out top. Can't get it to Porzingis quickly enough. Good defense by the Pels as Drew Holiday got back there. That's your first decent defensive possession of the game for either team. Holiday going at Doncic, goes through him. Oh, stopped from behind by Porzingis. 3-on-2 for the Mavs. Passes behind Finney-Smith, however. Hardaway put the wrong spin on it.
Yeah, and it seemed like a little bit too casual there and didn't force Ingram to commit before he made the pass, which tightened the angle too.
Yeah, he had it. It just was poorly executed.
Fair enough.
So we've got Doncic guarding Lonzo Ball. He's helped off of him a couple of times. They've got 2 threes to show for that. Weak side. Ball to make it 3 for 3. That's off. Zion did not attack the offensive glass. It went right to Kleber. Doncic in pick and roll had Porzingis maybe again. They're just going to switch this, so Doncic is going to try and go at Favors, attacks him, tries to create space. Great defense by Favors. Did not allow himself to get knocked backwards by the strength of Doncic. Here's Ball on the drive at Porzingis. A hopeless attempt, and Porzingis sends it back. Now Luka, he's got Favors again. Let's see if he can do better this time. Porzingis trying to post up, interestingly enough here. Rick Carlisle generally eschews these. Porzingis shoots over him, and there exactly it is. Brandon Ingram might be the only player with less heft in his butt than Porzingis in the whole league, and he still wasn't able to even try to back him down. And now Favors gets called. He shuffled the feet before putting the ball down.
He kind of preset his move there, and that's...
Yeah, he took a little jump with 2 feet before he actually put the ball down.
And that was a great example there in the highlight of Porzingis' length, that he was able to keep his body in line with Lonzo and then was still able to block the lefty layup.
Hardaway hasn't gotten into the offense quite yet. Kleba, now Doncic off the weak side screen. Good pick and roll defense again for New Orleans, but they switch Favors on. Let's see if Doncic can do better. Gets past him. Easy play. They're going to call the foul out on the floor on Favors. His foul trouble will be something to watch for sure. And what do you think of that Doncic versus Favors matchup? If they are going to, they're kind of not switching right away, but they're kind of putting 2 on the ball and then having the guard recover back to Porzingis.
He's going to need to be shifty because Favors can wait back a little bit and still be able to recover. I think he can get back okay. Ooh,
there's the deep three-point shooting by Porzingis as Brandon Ingram he wasn't even doing anything. He just didn't get out there, but then he comes right back on Finney-Smith where he has a sizable height advantage. Double drag for Doncic here. Kleba rolls. Porzingis pops. Doncic missed him. Now he gets it back, but Ball intercepts. That pass is too late. Doncic has missed a couple of those pops to Porzingis. Here's the drive. They're looking for Lonzo. I thought Favors could have attacked, as could Holiday, but instead they get it to Ball, and then he throws it away. Ball not feeling as confident on the drive after that rejection by Porzingis.
And that's not only Porzingis, the rim protector, but also Zion being around the basket. There were just too many Mavericks for the Pelicans to attack.
Yeah, and we can't really see what happened here, but they got it ahead to Maxi Kleba, but he could not draw the foul call. It'll be Dallas with a baseline out of bounds chance here for Rick Carlisle. They throw it to that weak side corner, but Finney-Smith can't make it happen. Ingram looking to push it. Cut off by Hardaway. Nicely good communication and transition defense. Now Favors looking to get Zion into the action in the post. So got a screen from Holiday. Goes into 2 guys. Throws it out to Holiday, but a good close from Doncic. Holiday just goes right through him like he isn't there. And we're seeing here a couple of times now, first as there was a foul on that play, but we saw Holiday, then Favors pass up drives, then Lonzo drives into traffic, throws it away. That time Holiday had the drive, didn't want to take it on Porzingis. He has been protecting the rim quite well so far.
And this is one of the first real stoppages we've had in this game. And this isn't even a stoppage. It's just a guy shooting free throws, gives them a chance to catch their breath, gives us maybe a chance to catch our breath. Somebody asked if we're doing this on YouTube. We are. I've tweeted out the link and Nate retweeted it. We're without Ben Dull, our intern. He is unavailable today.
Director of Basketball Research.
I will never get their titles right. It is one of my it is one of my failings as a person.
Liam was Director of Insight and Foresight, but he got promoted to the Miami Heat. Sadly, working for us did not have quite as much an appeal for him. So 2 missed free throws from Favors. They're trying to run Hardaway off a screen. Ball did well to get through it and take it away. Now they're a little later in the clock. 2 pick and rolls. Doncic again. He missed Porzingis. Too slow. But Porzingis did a nice job. They drew 2. Ingram got over there, and they didn't X out properly, but Finney-Smith misses his second open 3. Here's a pull-up by Ingram as Porzingis did well to challenge in transition. Now Doncic, Porzingis trying to post up on Holiday. They double team, though. That's a bad double team right there. And, man, Finney-Smith, or that was Hardaway, actually. But the Mavs missing these wide open threes early.
Yeah, they're 1 for 5 overall from 3.
Ingram wants to get it back against Doncic, but Ball not looking that way. They want to go to Zion instead. He attacks hard along the baseline, and he goes right through. That was great recognition by him. He wanted to go along the baseline. Porzingis came over, and so he just went right back through the body of Kleba, using the rim to protect from Porzingis. Look at this as Porzingis comes over, and there's just nowhere for Porzingis to jump and block the shot. Great body control from Zion.
Well, that ties in. Somebody had in the comments said that on Twitch said that Zion feels like he's such a limited player. Put him against a few physical bodies over a 7-game series, you could stop him. Who?
Yeah. I mean,
they're
Lopez
like 4 people that have slowed him down so far, and
Yeah.
those human beings are few and far between. And remember, this is early stages for Zion's career. I'm very interested in what his counters are and the skill development. There will be players that adjust to him, but he will adjust to the league too. So I mean, yeah, he's limited in that he doesn't have a jump shot, but you can be special in a lot of different ways, and Zion is special in a few of them.
Yeah, well, let's. We got big news at bookies.com, Danny.
We do.
Should we the pregnant pause? Are we going to tell them?
Well, I mean, that Strawman is back.
Not only is Strawman back, but he has they have 2 prognosticators now at bookies.com.
Yeah, and that ties in with what bookies.com is about. It's about information. So that's not only having expert opinions, Adam Thompson and the aforementioned Mark Strawman, but also information in terms of where you could theoretically place your wagers. There are a lot of different lines that can be out there. So if you know you want thing X, you might not know the best place to make that wager. They also have amazing sign-up deals and all of that. And so you can go to bookies.com/NBA and get all the information you need.
Yeah, so Adam Thompson, he's 29-16 since he started, 64%. And 58% in college basketball, for that matter.
And Strawman's bet in this one, the over, which is a strong over 240.5. So we'll have to keep an eye on that over the course of this game.
I hope that happens because that'll be a really exciting game. Dallas might actually have to hit some open threes, though, first. So let's hit a couple of questions. Lakers have some good bodies to stop Zion. I agree. I mean, I tweeted out that the Lakers, I mean, it's just amazing. Twitter these days, I was like, Zion has just been unbelievable. Guys just bounce off him. The only teams to remotely slow him down were the Bucks and the Lakers. And then I got all these people saying, no, the Lakers didn't slow him down at all. He had 35 and he had 29 against them. The game where he had 29 against them, the 35 game, AD didn't play.
Yeah.
And the 29 game, no, he actually really did get slowed down in that game. Like, you can score 29 points and still get slowed down. And so, yeah, the Lakers' size did cause a few problems for him. And then the Bucks are really, I think it was 5-19 in that game. But, you know, I mean, you got to just have these massive rim protectors and then also just a great culture of helping at the rim.
What is the ideal type of...
I think we're back here, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can just get back to the game.
Yeah.
We'll tackle some of these later on, though. Good questions. And keep them coming. We will get back to them.
Yeah, but the note from the commenter originally on Twitch about the big bodies is, yeah, you have to go through those teams to win a title. And I agree, yeah, if he's going to be a top 5 player, there are big holes in his game that he has to clean up. So Hardaway slips the screen, and then Porzingis slips it, and good communication by the Pels. Now it's Hardaway trying to attack Favors. Goes at him, tried to dunk on him with the left, but could not quite put it down, and it'll go back to the Pels with a 12-7 lead early here. I still think the Mavs offense looks pretty good right now, though. They're going to come around, especially when Favors comes out of the game. He's been involved in every defensive possession, doing a pretty good job. Ingram getting Finney-Smith in the air, and the reason that happens is because of Ingram's size advantage. He's able to knock him backwards and then pump fake, and so Finney-Smith says, oh no, he's got this room to shoot the jumper, I got to overcommit to challenge, and that's where the pump fake gets him, and Ingram will go to the line.
Yeah, and these are going to be the third and fourth free throws of the game for either team. Dallas hasn't gotten to the line at all, and so that exacerbates the 1 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, Ingram not only improving his three-point percentage, not only tripling his three-point attempt rate from last year, but shooting 86% from the line, which is just, when he was in the 60s, basically his entire career, even going back to college before that. Just remarkable shooting improvement. Ben Taylor, I can't come up with another option here, called it the greatest one-season shooting improvement in NBA history. Here's Doncic going at Favors, and he'll draw the foul. That's number 2 on Favors, and that's going to be trouble for New Orleans because they are going to have no options to stop this Dallas pick and roll without Favors in the game. And if it's Zion, we'll watch this. it's going to get ugly if Zion is defending in pick
Well,
and roll.
and the other part is there are teams where they can go with Nicolo Melli and go offense and just say you can't stop us. Dallas is the best offense in the league. You can't
Yeah.
you can't make that same bet against Dallas that you can against Brooklyn or any like kind of a normal or a non-playoff team even, especially.
Yeah, so Seth Curry has come on. He has been awesome. He also did not play in the loss to Chicago, but he's back. That seemed like a maintenance issue, but I mean, he has just been scorching in the last month or so. Here's Ball off pick and roll. Mid-ranger from Ball is off. Doncic with the rebound. He specializes in those, getting the double drag again. Now he's going to attack Zion. Here we go. First time. Let's see if Doncic goes at him. Does not really. Goes for the step back, but he drains it. And Zion, even if he can move his feet, and now they're going to throw it ahead to Zion, and that was great defense by Doncic to make it just difficult enough of a catch. Zion, even if he can start moving his feet a little bit better, he still has pretty short arms for his size. Being able to challenge shots, even if he can stay with the guy, could be a problem. Doncic, size advantage, back to goal against Ball, trying to create space. Curry eludes Holiday. Jumpers from 2 is good.
And that's what we talked about earlier. Dallas, they were getting clean looks early on. They weren't making them, but eventually those were going to turn around, and now they have some great shooters on the floor, too.
All right, here's Zion. Porzingis, he's way out on Melly now, and there it is. Zion just goes
That's
right
just
at him.
nasty.
And you saw what that all happens because Porzingis, he's standing 17 feet from the basket guarding Melly. And I'm sorry, you got to help down and then trust your rotations to take away the three-pointer because it's just a bucket. Zion going one-on-one against Kleber.
And Zion covering the space there against Curry on the closeout, that's the type of thing his foot speed might eventually help with.
Clear offensive foul as Holiday stayed right with Doncic. And Doncic, I don't think he wants to try Holiday. There's a lot of guys in the league he can try. His ISO game has looked really good this year, but that's not the guy to go after.
And reminder on that Zion Kleber play, he beat him with power the last time, and that was more of a speed play by him. It's incredible.
Yeah. Here he goes to his left. That time, Kleber with good defense. Really good defense. And also, you'll note, Porzingis, he crashed down that time. He's closer. He starts to play closer. And that's something where Zion can understand a little bit better. LeBron James is a master at this. Porzingis is in the lane when Zion starts his drive. So you got plenty of time. Just hold on to it. You can blow by Kleber at any time. Wait until Porzingis starts to clear out, has to clear out, and that's when you can drive and you got much more space. Ingram fading away off the screen. More mid-rangers than you usually see from the Pels. Now Ingram's in the corner. Nice fake on Finney-Smith, but it's short. Doncic rebounds. Ball went for the steal, couldn't get it. But now his thumb. Remember, Doncic's left thumb has been an issue. We'll see if that got hurt again. Here's Cauley-Stein on a nice roll to the basket, and those layups are not his forte, but he finished that one.
Well, and it was through Brandon Ingram, who did not exactly exude force on it.
Yeah, and that Cauley-Stein, remember, he was a high school football wide receiver. His speed getting on top of the rim is something that could really become useful for Dallas, as there's another three-pointer for the Pels. It's Holiday stepping back as they went under on him.
Yeah, I believe that's 3 for 7 from them now.
Here's a double drag with Porzingis out of the game. Doncic, Holiday with good help, and then Doncic throws it away. Drew Holiday, man, that guy's hands are just ridiculous.
Yeah, here
we're gonna see Luka. I think he got him. That's the thumb. He hit the ball, but he just knocked it into that thumb, and that thumb is clearly, I think he missed a game because of that, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's now gonna miss another one after this, but he's gonna stay in. That's been the pattern here. Now Jackson Hayes has come on, so we're going much bigger than expected. Good box out from Cauley-Stein. Doncic tells Cauley-Stein to roll to the rim. Now pick and roll. Holiday, no, they're just going to late switch this. I don't think they need to switch this. Kleber's not the pick and pop threat that the Porzingis is. Doncic puts him in the mix, can't get it though. Now a cynic might say that Luka never shoots with his left hand anyway, so this doesn't bother him too much. Now, man, some sloppy passes, and yes, it was over and back, says the referee, as Melly was off balance and just threw it away.
So yeah, now that we're getting into these bench units, it's gonna be. I want to see what Dallas's second unit looks like when Luka comes off the floor, and then how the Pelicans' offense looks now that Zion's off the floor.
Getting our first look at Michael Kidd-Gilchrist now for the Mavs. Kidd-Gilchrist interesting that they're playing him with Cauley Stein rather than with one of the stretch centers. I thought, and I mean, I can't remember the last time Dallas had 2 non-shooters on the floor like this. And then you throw in Finney-Smith as well. It's a very shooting-challenged group. Holiday snaking the pick and roll, goes at Cauley Stein, misses the lefty layup, though. Doncic looking to push. Hayes trying to hunt him down from behind. Hayes would have got him, but a great pass out instead to Curry, and he drains the 3. Perfect recognition. Luka, eyes in the back of his head. He shoots that layup. Hayes is going to pound it, so he finds Curry instead.
And also great recognition by Curry to get within that reasonable line of sight and get a wide open 3.
Big time. He ran the floor very well. Looks like we're going to get a foul here on Finney-Smith with the hold on Hayes, who might have had room for the alley-oop had the hold not taken place.
Let's get to some of your questions. People are. This is more a you thing than me. Is Larry Johnson a reasonable comp for Zion?
Yeah,
As you wear a UNLV jersey.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but Larry was not even close to as explosive as Zion. Also, not anywhere close to as quick off the dribble. Didn't have as much passing game. Probably a little better shooter than Zion, particularly as his career developed. I mean, he wasn't a great shooter, but he wasn't like a broken shooter the way that Zion is. By the way, Danny, you remember when you're like, "Oh, I'm going to change my prior because Zion was 4 of 4 from 3-point range in the first game." Do you remember when you said that?
No, never happened.
But he has made one since then.
There you go. Are there any ways the Bucks can get better? They topped out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the most notable one right now is that Pacers first round pick. They got the primary compensation they got from Malcolm Brogdon. They did not get a trade exception, but they did get that first round pick, and that could be used. The filler salary they have is very limited, and that is a challenge for certain teams. It's just like, well, how does that other part of the trade work? Boston dealt with this recently. But a first-round pick can be used to get somebody who can help them more immediately. And, internal improvement, Dante DiVincenzo is probably most prominent among them. But I think that sort of thing, they'll probably get somebody good for the mid-level exception again, because who wouldn't want to play for the Bucks?
Late joining the cast, did I miss people finally giving Memphis the respect its name deserves? I mean, now, granted, you go on a road trip in the East, and that can really help you a lot. But, yes, I thought they were sunk big time, that they just weren't going to be able to score. And these last 2 games, they have proved that was not the case. Now they've been able to get out in transition. Other teams have missed threes. But I thought they would be hard-pressed to win 2 games out of their next 10, and they have won they're 2-4. Or I'm sorry, I think they're 2-2. No, they've won 3 in a row now. They beat the Lakers and the Hawks, and now they killed the Nets too. So, yeah, I mean, maybe it's not as easy of a. They still have a very hard schedule. Also, I mean, probably the biggest thing that's happened that's helped them is New Orleans losing to Minnesota last night.
Yeah, and this will be a tough game for New Orleans as well. They absolutely can win, but we'll have to see.
Does Zion eventually run the offense? A couple of questions about Zion's usage overall. I would like to see that. I would like to see him initiating the play, small pick and roll, backing down. Now, his just regular post-ups have been so devastating so far. And, I mean, he is a rookie. He's not in amazing shape. And they got some other mouths to feed on this team. They got Ingram. They got Holiday. Yes, should he probably get the ball a little bit more? Maybe. But his usage is like 30%, and he's a rookie.
I think
you're not going to get much more.
I think it'll be a hybrid approach. I think you definitely want another capable ball handler on the floor.
Yeah.
But I think getting him the ball downhill, some stuff we saw from Gentry in the preseason, I think that will become more common as well. Because Zion is he makes good decisions. He's a good passer, and teams have to react to him. So getting him the ball in different ways can work well.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he's in good enough shape yet to handle a larger load. I think it's much more important for them as they're going to run a Spain pick and roll here with Hart popping out. Good defense by the Mavs, but Hart on the drive, and then he just passed it. How many times
had a lefty layup there.
How many times have the Pels just passed it for no reason when they've had layups so far already? So yeah, it is again MKG and Cauley Stein together, and Luka airmails it. That's tough to do when you're going to Cauley Stein. Melly pushing it up, a rare sight. He's got Ingram in the corner. Good drive on the baseline. Leaves it, but a nice sink down there from Kid Gilchrist, who did well to break it up. Curry closed down by Hart, and they'll get back to the offense here.
Jackson Hayes
guarding Luka. This is going to be a foul. No, the double team. Good double team there, and he gets back to his man, too. Cauley-Stein trying to post up, gets stripped by the sticky hands of Holiday. MKG, this is not his role, and then he elbows Melly in the face. It basically
Was that better? Was that
turnover.
better or worse than an MKG jump shot? At least now they get back. At least now they get back in transition defense. Or
Yeah,
non-transition
exactly.
defense.
Yeah, he tried to rip it through, and yeah, good call there, Melly. Excellent pressure late in the shot clock. Yeah, Melly, not the most athletic guy to be sure, but within his physical capabilities, I think he is defended better than expected.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And he's had, I think it was a Bulls game where he actually had some big stops late.
Zion on the bench, along with 3 other New Orleans starters at the moment. Favors on 2 fouls. That's something that we'll have to watch. But New Orleans has kind of been saved. Now Porzingis is actually back. So as Moore picks up a trail. By the way, another play forced by Porzingis. I mean, how many of these plays have we had already where New Orleans has been stopped? By the way, Stroutman, we're going to be a little hard-pressed to get to that 240 after this first quarter. And the three-point shooting hasn't been that bad either. It's been the turnovers, 6 apiece, that have really killed everyone.
Yeah, and it hasn't been a lot of fast break offense either. They've been getting,
Yeah.
they haven't been facing that.
Hardaway, there's the pick and pop for Porzingis, and it does drop off the front rim and then the backboard. Hardaway actually did a better job of getting it quickly back to Porzingis on that pick and pop. Double drag for Holiday. Now Moore trying to curl into the lane, cut off by Wright. Hart, pick and roll Melly, trying to post him up with 10 on the clock. Backing down, tries to get across the lane. Porzingis stops him again. Great defense. Timed it perfectly once Melly had committed to the shot. Porzingis has been very impressive so far.
Yeah, and Melly, you can bet on Melly. It's hard to make that pass when you're already in a post move.
Courtney Lee has come on. Oh, Porzingis from the logo. That's a little short, though. He tried to get the 2-for-1. Now do the Pels have time for their own? Holiday looking to attack. Finds it behind Hayes, but it's right to Moore. The 255's battling. Now Porzingis picks him up. Swing it to Holiday. They did not get the 2-for-1. He'll take the 3. Contested. Yeah, the jab step. And he sloughed off Hardaway and scored.
Yeah, and that's, I believe, 4 for 8 from 3 for New Orleans now. And nobody gets Seth Curry.
Oh, man, that was atrocious. And maybe they just thought they're going to run the time down so we don't have to know who the hell we have. But, yeah, that was terrible. Hart, Moore looking at each other. Neither of them knew who had Seth Curry on that play. Now Holiday looking to attack. Stepping back on Hardaway, and that's off. And we'll go into the quarter break. Exciting first quarter. Interesting first quarter strategically. 2-point Dallas lead. And who would you say has had the better of the run of play here?
I mean, I think Dallas has gotten better shots overall, and we've already seen the inklings of Kristaps Porzingis affecting New Orleans' approach offensively. I think that will continue to be a benefit for them. So I would say Dallas has been better overall. And also, I mean, both teams turned it over 6 times. I'm more confident that Dallas will be able to tone that down unless Lucas Thumb is really acting up.
Yeah, and New Orleans with J.J. Redick out for at least 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. I just don't quite think they have the firepower if Dallas really gets it going. Now, we have seen, I started to say, MKG and Cauley-Stein together, like they've had non-shooters on the floor more than you'd expect. I think the rotations have been kind of messed up because they started both Kleba and Porzingis. That's a really good shooting lineup to start with. They felt they needed Kleba to match up with Zion. But in fact, now they have these units that don't have much spacing on the second group.
I think that's a good question. Does Lucas seem reluctant to hit Porzingis on the pop versus the roll? Seems to like to hit the roll man. He does look more comfortable hitting roll man, even going back to the success that he had with Dwight Powell before Powell got hurt. I think that Luka is more comfortable with that, and the pick and pop will come with time. Remember, he didn't really play with anybody quite like Kristaps Porzingis last year, and there aren't many guys like Kristaps Porzingis in the league or European basketball who are such a big threat. Oh, the stats at the bottom. Do we know how to fix that?
Oh yeah, I never changed it. Yes, we do know how to fix it. I just put it on a previous game to test it and then never switched it over.
So thank you for letting us know.
We are a useless group here without Ben.
We miss you, Ben.
Our director of basketball research, yeah, he's covering the Pac-12 women's tournament this year, so he was, or this week, so he's unavailable. All right, I'm gonna fix that. If you want to take some questions here.
Would you say Anthony Davis still has best player in the league potential if a system was built around him like Giannis, or is that ship sailed? I think it would be really hard when you consider the double that Giannis is doing right now. Like, and some of it is AD's offense, some of it is AD's defense. I think that he can be, I think he can be an important part of a very good offense and an important part of very good defense. But the most valuable player in the league, I think, would be a lot.
Well, so let me ask you this: where could AD get better to make that happen?
I don't think he can do enough with the ball in his hands that you really want to like turn him into that type of guy. I mean, I think there could be. When he was drafted, I can't remember if we disagreed on this. I thought that he had Defensive Player of the Year potential. He's a little bit short of that to me, so I think he can make. If he becomes dominant on that end, can be like a maybe not quite Gobert as a rim protector, but also be more versatile as a switch guy. I think that could help, but I'm just not sure he can get to that level with how good. I mean, he can be damn good. He can be first team All NBA, but MVP is a special conversation.
Yeah, and offensively, I just don't think he quite has enough.
Yeah, I don't think he's scalable enough to do it. But that is a great question. Oh, Dorian Finney-Smith, questionable to return per Tim McMahon.
Yeah, that's another blow, so we might see more of Kidd-Gilchrist now. Luka on the bench, right attacking Melli, setting up Kleba in the corner, and he drains it. Maxi Kleba got more maybe than some people would have anticipated, about $9 million a year. That last year is non-guaranteed, but he's been easily worth that amount of money. So Zion is actually back, only a 4-minute rest. Melli wide open for three, but couldn't convert. He missed a couple of big ones against the Timberwolves last night that could have changed the complexion of the game. And then he gets blown by right with the slippery drive, and he'll go to the line.
And remember, this is Zion playing on a back-to-back, which originally the expectation was he wasn't going to even participate in over the course of this year. Yeah, and that's just a straight blow by DeLon Wright. And Melli grabbed him hard enough that it was going to be hard to make that layup for an and one, but still, 2 free throws for DeLon, who I did not call Darrell.
Who's the worst center in the league who deserves to make more than the minimum? That's probably a good Patreon mailbag question, actually.
It is. It requires a little bit of research.
Yeah, so we'd have to get
It's probably going to be like a top 10 backup. Maybe top 5 backup?
Yeah, and the going rate for good backups was the room exception last year, but not all of them turned out to actually be good. Back to Zion here against Kleba. Let's watch Porzingis here coming over to help. He does come over. Good pass. Nice pass to set up Ball, who makes his third three-pointer. That was good recognition from Zion, seeing that Wright was coming down from the nail, and he just cashed it out to Lonzo Ball. Excellent pass. Here's a three from Hardaway, and he drains it. Man, Tim Hardaway, I talked to someone with the Mavs when they made that trade, and they're like, hey, he's not just total negative salary. Like, we think he can really help us. And they proved correct. I didn't believe it. But Lonzo Ball is really helping the Pels right now. He's keeping them in at 4 threes already. Yeah. He's got 11 over his last 5 quarters or so. Hardaway, he'll go right back to answer. Misses that, though, and Ball rebounds. Is he going to heat check it here? No, he leaves it for Melli. Oh, good closeout by Porzingis. He moved well. Ball had another chance. Doesn't take the bad shot. Passes behind Melli, but he'll take it anyway. And Porzingis, you could tell the challenge surprised Melli. Usually when a guy misses that badly, he was surprised by the length of the contest. And Porzingis is about as long a contest as you can get in the league. Porzingis looks to hand off. Good job by Josh Hart blowing it up. They go back to the pick, though. Porzingis is open. Good stunt from Ball. Porzingis takes the deep three. Not there. Rebound Zion. Here he is in transition. We haven't seen much of this grab and go yet. Let's see it. Oh, he crosses up Curry, and Curry just gives the foul. Man, I mean, that's what I really want to see in the future, right? You'd have to actually get a defensive rebound first.
Rob Mahoney and I talked about how he's running the floor more to get those post-ups, but he can do that with the ball in his hands. That was part of what we loved his game at Duke when we watched the film.
Zion going into Kleba, good defense, and Zion, his touch is underrated, but that was a worse quality look than he'll normally get. Well done by Kleba. And now they're going to get a quick foul on Etuan Moore as Hardaway has been entrusted to run the offense. He's essentially playing point guard right now. Yeah, look at that. And Kleba, yeah, Zion is bigger than him, but if you can get it, at least cut him off that first time and give him a little bump with your chest, maybe you can knock him back just enough. Oh, man, Curry's going to be wide open here for the three, and he ain't missing lately.
Yeah, I believe he's 3 of 3 so far in this game, might be 4 of 4.
Yeah, and Alvin Gentry needs to talk it over as it's turned into a three-point bomb fest here in the first 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the quarter. So, sadly, the over is not looking great, but it's recovering a little bit here. We're only like about 2 minutes behind pace or so now for Mark Stroutman's over-under. But, no prognosticator is going to be perfect, but bookies.com can get you closer to perfect with the information that they provide. They give you a list of a number of odds that you can choose from. They also give you the ability to click through where gambling is legal to the best gambling deals in your state.
Yeah, and so you can learn and earn whether you're betting spreads, money lines, totals, parlays, whatever you think you know, you can do it through bookies.com and bookies.com/NBA. And something else you can do, Nate and I are not great at turning our insight into advice in this realm. But bookies.com can do that, and so you can check out their website, but also follow them at Bookies on Twitter, and they take some of our insight on this show and do it. And also, it's a great way to support them for supporting us. This is a very unusual endeavor to support. We're doing these live broadcasts, and bookies.com is helping make that a reality for us and for you.
Hey, Jay Skeets in the comments here on YouTube, he said he didn't get a chance to watch it, but how did the NBA TV second screen telecast go? For those who missed it, we were on NBA TV front court, and it was fun, but it kind of turned into basically a podcast because and I tried to kind of shift it back to the game, but it seemed like that wasn't necessarily what they wanted us to talk about.
It was also a very challenging game to talk about. I mean, The Clippers went ahead, they put their foot on the gas pedal, and they never let go. But it was a fun experience. I'm happy we did it.
Yeah.
And a part of what I enjoyed about that, they had us on from an analytics bent. And, the education part of this is something that I think both of us really enjoy. And so is, in talking about our thought process, talking about the stats that we use and rely on. And if we got people to think about the sport that we love differently, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely was a great opportunity. It was just, I felt like we've waited so long to actually be able to have the game on the screen with us with no barriers to entry. And, then we didn't really get a chance to talk about the game as much. But,
I also learned that getting the lighting right in my apartment, because we always do our things from here, was a distinct challenge that took like 45 minutes I did not see coming, but it worked out fine.
Yeah, but thanks for all you guys who watched it. And if you're tuning in expecting this exact cast on NBA TV, that probably wasn't going to happen, but we always appreciate the support and hope we were able to entertain you guys nonetheless. Alvin Gentry is the coach. He needs to go. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not sure what you would have to say they did wrong. Also, frankly, Danny, if Alvin Gentry going means that Fred Vinson is going,
that's a big problem.
And now I think Vinson, he actually predates Gentry, so maybe he would stick around. But now here's Zion going at Cleveland. Nice back cut by Hart, and then he almost threw it away. Moore recovers. Fading away, Porzingis bothered him, but that was a nice touch from Etuan Moore, who's been a master of the mid-range for some time.
And a good job by Seth Curry coming back. I think they're having him run the play. Just get back behind half court to get the ball.
Miscommunication briefly, and man, is that deadly. Josh Hart tried to go with it. They've been late switching a lot, and they didn't communicate well enough as Porzingis rolled to the basket. Now Zion going at Cleveland again. Oh, he's rejected by Porzingis.
That was Bucks-esque.
Yeah, and now part of the problem there, this is a great pass from Lonzo, but nobody came into the front court. Here's another three from Porzingis is short. Nobody came into the front court, and so Zion didn't really have many passing options there. Now Ingram gets the screen from Zion, pulls up, and hits the mid-ranger as Kleba did not want to step out too far. Ingram shooting in the high 40s from mid-range this season.
Yeah, and Ingram right now 3 of 4 on twos and 0 for 2 on threes.
That time they communicate a little bit better and switch that pistol action, I guess you could call it, on the side. Here's a drive from right, usually a reliable finisher, can't get it. Hart looking to push, goes at Hardaway. Porzingis, oh, he took it away. And Danny, I think the biggest thing that's sticking out to me here after the All-Star break and after returning from that knee issue is Porzingis' mobility defensively has been really impressive tonight.
Right, and one of the key things that we were interested in is when he's the only big on the floor, or could he be the only big on the floor and succeed defensively? I mean, his rim protection has been great.
Yeah, and that time Zion, I liked the way that he was a little more patient that time and just worked to his spot, because it's harder for the shot blocker to time it up if you're kind of backing in slowly. He doesn't know when to go. Here's Hardaway. Man, Mavs are heating up from three here as he was lost again. It was Moore who stepped in to help briefly and then couldn't get back to Hardaway.
And remember, Dallas putting up these points without Luka on the floor.
Yeah, here's Zion forced to his left, and they're going to get a foul here. Not sure who got it. Maybe it was Kleba.
Yes, this is a 16-point first 4:45 for Dallas. No Luka and no Jalen Brunson because he's still dealing with that labrum issue.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Kleba with like the knee into the butt. We'll have to check the play-by-play on that. And Ingram, easy push-off. Good call.
And I'm so happy the league is getting stronger on calling that, because offense has a lot of advantages right now. They don't need that one.
Right, looking for Kleba off the screen. Then a nice cut from Porzingis. Oh, and he popped it up quickly over Zion. Zion could not stay with him on that slip to the basket. Mavs causing a lot of miscommunications here in the second quarter. Ingram can't back down. Ball swings it. Moore is wide open for three. Nice job by Kleba getting inside position on Zion. Mavs looking to push it again. Pels are back. Favors on 2 fouls. We'll have to watch that. Curry trying to put more in the mix. Good defense. Now he'll turn the corner. Oh, nice pass back. I don't know why Porzingis didn't take that. Instead, he drives. He's got no left hand. Instead, he swings it to Hardaway, and Hardaway curls it in.
Tim Hardaway Jr., I think that's 9 points on 3 of 6 from 3.
And Hardaway and Curry are just destroying the Pels right now. Here's Zion. Oh, it's taken away by Wright. Wright to Favors. In the corner, it's Ingram. Leaves it for Zion. Zion into Porzingis, and it'll count. And Zion, the reason that he, I mean, one of the reasons, there are many, but one of the reasons that he gets fouled so often is guys just are not prepared for him to attack that quickly, right? Porzingis is thinking he's moving forward. He thinks he's going to get in front of him, and Zion is already moving into him, and so Porzingis can't get stationary to avoid the foul.
And now we get to see another part. This is Zion's first free throw attempt of the game. How well he shoots from the line and how reliably that goes is going to be another huge determining factor in his career.
Zion hitting that second free throw with Favors back on the floor. Zion playing a lot of minutes so far early. Goes for the steal. Can't get it, but it's good to see him at least making the effort. You know, those are the kinds of plays he made at Duke. He still doesn't quite have that same explosion in a straight line to get those steals the way he did at Duke. And posting him up again. Kleba, oh, he went for the jumper, went after his own rebound and got it, and then he stopped underneath. No foul is called. Mavs looking to push it. What a rebound that was, though. He knew it was short. And now, oh, Holiday, what a steal. And they're going to set up ball here. Can he make a 4-3? No, that's off. I'm sorry, a fifth three that would have been. Yeah,
it was 4 or 5 before that one.
Sorry, what were you going to say before that?
I love Lonzo Ball's ball pressure on that forced the Mavericks turnover, which was like now 4 turnovers ago. And there's Brandon Ingram's 3. And and so important to his development to have the confidence just take that straight out.
Right, one-on-one against Ingram. Now it's Doncic who's returned. He tries to draw the foul, cannot. Watch Zion here. He's like glued to Kleba. See, he never even moves, right? Like Zion, if he's guarding a shooter, he's not even thinking about crashing down to help on a play like that. Now, I mean, Favors is there, but he's just, you can move to another shooter, try to take away the pass. If he's guarding a shooter, he's just glued to that guy. That's something we'll try and focus in on him a little bit more defensively here. I guess he's probably going to go out actually after this timeout, but when he's in next, we'll try and focus a couple possessions on what he's doing, or maybe more accurately, not doing defensively. What do we got here for questions?
Has Porzingis' offensive game meaningfully improved since his Knicks days? I would say the biggest thing is just where he's taking his shots from. Like, I mean,
his game, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's shooting better from three.
I think his passing and ball handling has gotten slightly better. It was terrible on the Knicks, and it's a little bit better.
He wasn't this terrible on post-ups with the Knicks, though.
That's true. But no, I think it's more the role usage, which isn't necessarily development, though there are elements of like positioning that are there. But I think it's more just using him the right way. Who is Fred Vinson? He is the shooting guru that is on the Pelican staff. He is credited for the improvement that has happened with both Brandon Ingram's jump shot and Lonzo Ball's. We've been seeing more of Ball's jumper in this one than Brandon Ingram's, but that has been eye-opening for both.
And going back further, Drew Holiday was like kind of a non-shooter when he came there.
Yeah.
Tyreek Evans really improved. Quincy Pondexter really improved under him. But obviously this has been very visible now. You know, AD got a lot better early in his career to become like really a really good mid-range shooter by maybe like his third year.
Somebody asked, who do we think will end up with the worst records in the league? The bottom three. So that's the teams that will have identical lottery odds. I'm going to look at the ELO projections on 538 have it as the Warriors dead last at 20 wins, and considering their three wins clear of the group, they'll be better with Steph Curry on the floor, whether they can do that. But if we're picking teams, Warriors and Cavs seem like the two there, and then Knicks, Pistons, Hornets probably in that group. I'm going to go with the Pistons. I think they're going to fall like a stone. Derrick Rose is probably out for a while. And yeah, I'm going to go with them. Do you think Cavs, Warriors, Pistons, that seem reasonable to you?
And the Pistons are like half risky. I mean, where are the Pistons compared to the Hornets right now?
Pistons have 3 more losses and 1 fewer win.
Yeah, I guess just because the Hornets are starting in better position.
And the Knicks have 1 fewer win and identical losses to the Pistons.
All right, we're back here. Zion remains in the game. He's played a lot of minutes. This is a back-to-back, too. There was some question of whether he even would play back-to-backs. Here's Hardaway Jr. Pulls up over ball. Tapped out, but it goes right to Ingram. Ingram looking to push it here. He's got Cauley Stein on him. He's going to try and take him one-on-one. Cauley Stein, a good ISO defender, good contest. Doesn't matter. I would say that was like an okay contest, not a good contest.
He wasn't really in the line of sight there.
Doncic, pick and roll, attacking Favors. They want to see if they can pick up a third on Favors here. Kleba from way out on Zion. Misses it. Rebound Favors. Ingram gets it to Zion. Deep post position. And Cauley Stein reacting quickly again. Zion doesn't have an outlet on those deep post-ups. And Rick Carlisle doing a great job getting his team ready for those plays that they're going to throw it ahead to Zion in the post. And the center has gotten back and blocked him a couple of times. Zion 4 of 10 now. More post-ups coming here for Ingram. Size advantage on right. Flare screen for Holiday. Just passes it up. Goes right through Doncic. And Doncic with the strip from behind. That was fortuitous. Didn't see that coming. Ball with the good denial on Hardaway. They go into the pick and roll. They just slip this. Doncic stepping way back. Oh, man. Whew. Didn't really create much of an advantage, but it didn't matter where you could shoot from 30 feet and you're 6'8". Holiday, that is a patented patented New Orleans Pelicans play. Usually it's more doing it, that 21 action on the side, the guard slipping the screen early before the help is in position at the rim, and a great pass and finish. Holiday never came down with it. Now Zion in pick and roll, and Holiday is called for the foul on Doncic. And I mean, Drew Holiday is about as good as it gets, you would think, for defending Luka, and like Luka's change of speed still gets him.
Yeah. No, I think they could have made that specific one a no call, but again, if they thought he materially affected Doncic's dribble, that's fine. Yeah, Luka so far for the game, 9 points, 3 of 5 from the field, also 5 turnovers. We'll talk about that at halftime.
Trying to force Doncic to his left. Can't do it. Doesn't really create the advantage there, though. And that time, Holiday got back into it. What a play by Wright, though, to intercept. But then he throws it right back to Favors. Frank Jackson has come on for the first time. He's handling. Melly slipping the pick. On the roll, loops it out. Jackson not shy. Rightfully so. Drains the 3. New Orleans within 3.
And Dallas bet that they could scramble and recover. It ended up being a Frank Jackson 3, but he did make it that time.
Crossing under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Doncic, spin move, scores easily on Jackson. And Jackson, you really kind of want to force Luka to the left, but he's so under control. I don't know that there's much a 6'1 guard can do to slow him down in that situation. Here's Holiday, under control himself. And man, Drew Holiday abusing Doncic when he's had that matchup one-on-one, and then the body control, the core strength, Cauley Stein couldn't stop him. Drew loves finishing with that left hand. Nice weak side pass to Wright, closed down by Melly. Porzingis on the drive, going at Favors. Great verticality. Porzingis tries to stuff it back, can't. And now it's 3-on-3. Now 4-on-3 as Jackson joins the action. And that, man, good defense, knocks it away, and Curry's got it right back. Wright is wide open underneath. Oh, man, they missed him. He had a layup. Now they're trying to post Porzingis on Melly. Rick Carlisle, hands on his hips, not enjoying it. And, oh, wow, he scores it. That was going to be a terrible shot. But Melly fouls him, and he does make it. So, Rick Carlisle, that points per possession of the post.
It's going to skyrocket.
It's going up. I think it was like point. It might have even been the .6s the last time I looked at it a couple of weeks ago. So we got 2 minutes left here, probably about 4 or 5 possessions for each team to do something, as there's Jackson attacking quickly and he's tripped.
I do not believe that the Pels are in the bonus, so that won't be as bad a foul. But now they're going to shoot free throws the rest of the way.
First in the last 2 minutes for the Pels, or for the Mavs, I should say. So Zion, this is interesting that he's just going to rest the rest of the half. Holiday driving, and again, he's just going right through Wright, and so under control, so strong. He's got that massive wingspan to extend over the defense, and he goes slow enough that it's harder for the help again to time him up. Now Doncic gets him in the air, and he'll go to the line.
And Favors there, I mean, he's close enough. He could have reacted to that, and you concede concede the pass to Cauley Stein.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough pass to make in such close quarters. That's more like a 1980s pass.
Right.
That interior big-to-big passing, that I don't know whether that just doesn't work anymore because guys are too athletic or just nobody thinks to do that anymore. But yeah, I mean, when Doncic has it right under the rim and he pump fakes like that, he needs to take the step over it and make him do something else. What do you think of Luka's first half here?
It's been okay. It's possible that the thumb is contributing some of these turnovers, but he's been better in the second quarter than the first.
Holiday sizing up Curry. Now they switch this too easily. Goes baseline. Porzingis helps. That leaves Melly wide open for a 3. Holiday on the rebound, and he blew the layup. Here's Favors. He's stopped by Cauley Stein. Back out Holiday. 10 on the clock. Underneath Favors, and finally he reverses it home. And Cauley Stein and Porzingis, for all of their size, not known for their defensive rebounding prowess. Doncic, nice job engaging Melly and forcing the switch, stepping back. Way short, though. I thought he could have done a little bit better job. And actually, truthfully though, there, Danny, Porzingis screwed that up because he went and posted up at the nail against Holiday. He's got to say that, no, Luka has the advantage. I'm going to space it out for him instead of trying to post up for a mid-range jumper against Drew Holiday.
Another offensive rebound for New Orleans.
Jackson snaking it back to Holiday. Size advantage on Curry. Looks to attack him into the lane. That time Porzingis got him, but it's right to Favors, and he jams it home. They get the 2-for-1.
And that's one of the other benefits of engaging the shot blocker. It removes them from the defensive glass. But New Orleans gets another second chance bucket. I think that's their third in the last minute or so.
Doncic running it down. He's guarded by Holiday. Oh, Frank Jackson wanted to pre-switch it. Melly didn't see him, and now Doncic is going to go into it. Porzingis again. He's trying to post up. Go space out. You got the switch. Cauley-Stein is spaced out instead. Here's the fadeaway from Doncic way off, and shot clock violation. That actually helps the Pels. They can advance the ball on the pass here and not waste any time. But, yeah, Porzingis, this is not good enough for him. You get that switch, especially with Cauley-Stein on the floor. Cauley-Stein is the one with no shooting range. You got to get out of there and allow Doncic to go to work because you can't do anything posting up anyway. Cauley-Stein's already down there.
And they can also, I would like to see them use Cauley-Stein as the screener more often there because then you can use Porzingis' spacing as a way to attack.
Ingram guarded by Doncic here. This is an advantage matchup. You would think Melly, deep three over Kleba, way short. I think Kleba may have gotten a piece of it. And it'll be a 2-point Dallas lead as we go into halftime. Exciting first half here. Exciting enough even that you may want to bet it. We'll tell you about that in a few moments here. We got to get the halftime line first.
There are three. Actually, sorry, I was going to say there were guys tied for the leading scorer, but that's because I missed Seth Curry. Seth Curry in 15 minutes is the leading scorer. 14 points, 4 of 4 from 3, 5 of 6 overall from the field, and plus 11 in those 15 minutes. Some of that is the Pelicans just not doing a good enough job reacting. He had that play at the end of the first quarter where nobody on New Orleans even just really thought about guarding him. He's done well. I think he's also had some nice defensive plays. Had a steal in that time as well. At 13 points, Luka, Kristaps Porzingis, and Brandon Ingram, all of whom have 13. Let's take a couple questions as well. We'll do that, and then we'll talk about a couple different things. Are there over or under 1.5 future All-Stars on the Bulls' current roster? I will go under. I think they have a number of guys that could be solid starters, but remember, especially if it stays at 12, I think they should expand All-Star rosters. How good you have to be. You have to basically be in the 2 or 3 best players at your position. That's a lot. I mean, they have a couple guys who could maybe make like one appearance.
Well, 2 or 3 best players of your position in the conference.
In the conference, yeah.
I mean,
there are a lot of guys who could.
I think maybe it's possible that, if they're making the playoffs, it could be, and they're kind of the same way they're currently constructed. It could be one of these, well, they need an all-star, and it's Levine because
and it changes each time.
Scoring. Well, it won't change. I don't think there's anyone else who's going to be like a big enough scorer to attract attention. I mean, honestly, I think if I had to pick who I think is the most likely to actually really play at an all-star level on that team,
I'm going Wendell Carter.
Yeah, that's and I mean Levine is up there too. He could add the playmaking to where he really does drive efficient offense more than he does. He's so bad defensively, though. I mean that's one of the problems.
Oh, that's a good one from Detlef. For a national broadcaster like ESPN or TNT, what are ways that you could see analytics be integrated into the telecast in a way that would be digestible and interesting to viewers? One big one is stopping using per game stats and using things like per 100 possessions and getting rid of, because there's so much noise, especially if they're using a per game ranking, that it can be defined by things like pace. And offensive rating is not or net rating is not something that is so hard to explain.
I would say just like not fetishizing rebounds as much.
Yeah, that's
another
true.
thing that Ben Taylor talked about. Just like they're just not that valuable on the defensive glass in particular. So people are like, if it's guess what? If it's one of the 3 stats that you're showing to evaluate how a player plays, people are gonna think that it's really important to be a defensive rebounder. So maybe you could say, okay, here's like the contested defensive rebounds that they got and discount the ones that are just, nobody's even around them when they get it. Certainly, Noah focused more on efficiency. I mean, I don't mind points per game because that's at least saying here's kind of what's happening in the game. You are trying to score points on a game basis. How many points a guy score might be a
Well, I'm
little bit
thinking
more
more like
useful.
I was watching a game earlier today, and they were talking about how a team is like the fifth best defense because they're fifth in points allowed per game. And it
Really?
was a,
Who is still doing that?
I'm trying to remember.
I
which
don't think
broadcast.
I don't think the national.
No,
broadcast-
sorry, that was a local. That's true. That
Yeah,
wasn't
I don't think the national broadcasts do that anymore. Yeah, but and I think just some of the stuff like the expected field goal percentage or what are you shooting from certain zones. I mean, hey, all the shit that we give you, basically, right? Like that's what we think they should do.
Who has been the Lakers' third best player this year? Danny Green.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing I'd like to, is just like here's what they're scoring out of post ups. Here's what they're scoring out of pick and rolls. Like, and not only to use the second spectrum stuff of like, okay, on a play where there is a post up for this guy, what do they eventually end up scoring on that possession, that kind of stuff. Another thing they could even use is like, hey, here's like who didn't get back on defense the most times. You could use that with second spectrum. There's a lot of stuff you could do for sure. Yeah, so Danny Green, third best player on the Lakers, you were saying?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably true. I mean, KCP has been pretty underrated too, but Danny Green is better than him. Tatum's ISO offense versus OG's ISO defense. Oh, I think I would take OG there. But you can always run something to get someone else onto Tatum too. I mean,
Well, and
God, I hope that series happens. Oh, that Toronto-Boston series.
I mean,
I've been
things are
wanting,
moving that direction.
I mean, we've been talking about those two teams matching up for a while, and like we thought those. Remember at the start of last year, those were going to be the two best teams in the East. And there's a couple of early season games between those teams when they're all at full strength that were really good. Who's been the Bucks' third best player this year? Brook Lopez.
Yeah, Middleton's 2, Lopez's 3.
Yeah. We do a podcast ranking each of the 30 local and national announcing crews. I don't really pay that close of attention to where I could be like, oh, this is the strengths and weaknesses of like, the Oklahoma City color guy. I mean, I have a general feeling of like who I like and I don't like. And I also just don't even watch some of them anymore.
I also watch a lot. I watch a lot of games on mute.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's true. And also like, I run into those guys. I don't, and I mean, I guess certain local color teams have haven't had any qualms about being a dick to me. So maybe I should just not feel any qualms about this. But
Oh, I thought at first when you were talking about certain local things, I thought you were referring to the one that has animus with me. But
yeah, no. Well, actually, I shouldn't say color because the color guy, Quinn Buckner, is the only one who wasn't a dick about it.
Yeah.
In Indiana, but in any event, I mean, I think I'm not ready to do that. I think that's Lowe kind of does that with like his league pass rankings as well.
And also for me, like I'm generally not focusing as much on the broadcasters. Like I do my own analysis, so I think in some ways it'd be better for other people too, because they're not speaking to us as much.
Yes, this is a Stacey Augman UNLV jersey. That is right.
Oh, regardless of conference, what two teams would make for the best series? I would be very interested in a Toronto-Boston. I mean, I don't think that's like NBA Finals caliber, but in terms of an interesting series, there are a lot of wrinkles there that would be fun. Lots of guys to throw at Kemba, guys to throw at Tatum, two coaches that I respect a lot and that I think could be good for in-series adjustments. That would be a really, really interesting one, and I think there's a pretty good chance it happens.
Okay, so here we go. Mavs currently a 5.5 point favorite in the halftime line, but the over/under has fallen from 241 to 228.5 at points bet. So if you're a believer in that these teams are going to score a lot in the second half, you could maybe go for the over. But Bookies.com, the reason we're telling you about that is because that's just some small snippet of the information you can get from them.
Right, and that is information that can especially be used by people who are 21 and over in the states where online sports betting is legal. Those states are not super well represented in this game, but we know that NBA broadcasts have fans from all over, and maybe you're watching this game from those places, and so you can use bookies.com and bookies.com specifically /NBA to get lots of great information, including those expert picks from Mark Strawman and from Adam Thompson.
Mark Grant, what's your pick for the first round NBA TV only series? Bucks versus either Magic or
Lord.
Nets. What a destruction!
We might not even do that series from game one.
I'm telling you, that's the plan. I mean, basically, there's only been 2 series that we've ever not done games from. One was Spurs Grizzlies in 2016,
which we still watched a lot of.
I didn't.
Oh no, that was 17 when.
Yeah, 17. That was a really good series. Actually,
Yeah,
that was
right.
the Kawhi really went nuts in that series, and they won in 6. But no, that Grizz team was pretty good. This was the year when like Gasol and Conley were already out for the year already, and Dave Yeager gave like the tearful press conference at the end. But no, I mean, so my policy on that series will be, unless the game is within 10 at the end, I'm just not going to do it. And if it is, then I'll go back and watch it and pod on it. But otherwise, I'm just going to not watch them. So. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe I can spend like 2 hours.
Well,
with
and
my
it's
wife
and it's possible after game 1 that the 2-7 East series could join them, and that would be nice for us. You know, there's so much going on at that time, and it's good to have some breaks.
Yeah, more comments on the Augman thing and that 89, 90, 90, 91 UNLV team. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of Greg Anthony was probably like the heart and soul of that team. Like he fouled out in that Duke game. That's part of why they lost it. And Larry Johnson was the best player, but I felt like Augman was really the guy who most personified like what they were defensively, like the amoeba defense that they went to, and some of the dunks and just like the arrogance that they played with. He had been there the longest. I think Anthony and Johnson were both JUCO guys, and he had been there for a little bit longer, but yeah, and also it's like a little more obscure, so I kind of like that aspect of it too. Yeah, when I teaching at sports business classroom, I wore this one of the days. I'm like, hey, we're teaching in the Thomas and Mack Center. You got to wear the UNLV jersey, right?
Do you think the Mavericks would have the best chance to win against the Nuggets, the Jazz, or the Rockets?
Mavericks against the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Rockets. I think that they could punch above their weight against the Rockets, but the Rockets are just better than those other 2 teams. I think the Nuggets are the worst of those 3 teams, and also like Jokic. I don't think that they're like put 2 on the ball, pick and roll is going to work against.
Right. Yeah. I think the schemes there and Dallas's offense is good enough that they can do it. Also, Porzingis, Jokic, and I mean Dallas could even throw some Boban in that series, depending on how things work out. Also, Malone can sometimes be cautious with his best players.
Yeah, also Malone versus Carlisle. I don't think that's going to go too well.
Yeah. Do you like the Nets court? Why or why not? I like it better when they're wearing certain uniforms. There was a time when they were wearing those gray ones that I actually got confused as to whether the colors were wrong on my TV, but I'm fine with it. The thing that was the weirdest for me the first time I went to Barclays was that the concourses are dark, like the wall color and all that, and it's not bad, it's just different. Actually, the first time I went to Barclays, I did the same thing. Actually, it was a big deal that Mike Tirico broadcast both games. I went to both those games, rode the subway between them, and MSG in the concourses is so bright, especially after the redesign or the remodel, and Barclays is so dark. It was weird.
Yeah, I liked the movie Pleasantville, so I'm into the Barclays court.
I also enjoyed the movie Pleasantville. How much better do you think Kawhi's passing has gone this year? It's definitely another level of improvement. I wouldn't say that it hasn't to me been the same kind of revelation, but some of that is just because the revelation already happened. But it's been better.
Favorite fast food restaurant? Well, I did do an entire podcast on my favorite fast food items on Kevin Pelton's Pelton Cast almost 3 years ago now, I think. But In-N-Out would be it, clearly. Like, nothing else even close. I do have a narrower definition of fast food. Like, it has to have a drive-through, and basically the menu items have to be $6 or less. So like Five Guys, Chipotle, like fast casual stuff, Shake Shack, like that's not included to me. That's fast casual is a different category.
I don't think I would consider Shake Shack fast food either. For a couple
Yeah,
of
well, it's too expensive.
yeah.
I mean, as someone who was once poor and needing to eat as much food as possible, Shake Shack would have been out of my price range.
Somebody asked if I've listened to the coach rankings. I have not yet. That is something I plan on listening to Thursday or Friday. I've been doing prep. We're doing the awards podcast tomorrow, so that's been the large portion of my like my free time has been listening to that, and also I'm a political guy, and there's been a lot to pay attention to there.
The political guy, and that you just kind of censor your opinions and go with the flow and don't offend anybody.
Yes, that is very much me.
Let's lock in on the shot charts here. We're about to start the second half. Biggest number that stands out to me is 7 of 17 at the rim for the Pels. Porzingis has 5 blocks in the first half. Cauley Stein has made some plays as well. And then on the other side, the Mavs only taken 9 shots at the rim themselves. But both teams absolutely scorching from 3. Pels 8 for 19, 42%. Mavs 12 of 25, 48%. Hardaway Jr. is 3 of 7, and Curry is 4 of 4. Curry has 14 points on only 6 shooting possessions. He was the player of the first half. That Mavs bench unit went to town. Interestingly, Doncic -7, and Curry was +11.
Yeah, some of those Pelicans bench units just don't have a lot of talent on them. And we saw, remember we talked about it, there were four Pels on the bench at the same time, and it was Drew Holiday and a bunch of backups.
Yeah, so Zion, he basically played the first 8 minutes of each quarter and then went out.
Yeah.
Pick and roll. Curry actually starting the second half. Zion closed him down. Let's see if Curry can go after Zion. No, he just shoots the 3 over him, and that's not good enough from Zion. He's 4 of 4 from 3. You got to make him put it on the floor. And yeah, see, that's where you lose it as a rookie, right? You make that first defensive effort. I did my job. Relax. Oh, no, he just got the ball back, and he's shooting a 3 in your face. Holiday, spacing is not good here for the Pels. They try to swing it to Ball. Good closeout by Doncic. Ball loses it. Has to fade away off the glass. Wow, Lonzo Ball from mid-range. They tried to just run the Pels' same play against them with that 21 action and the slip to the rim. But that leaves Hardaway wide open in the corner. Let's see what happened on that one. Ingram...
Yeah, Ingram
he just went. Oh yeah, they tried to run Ingram actually did the right thing there, Danny. They tried to run the open side pick and roll alley-oop for Porzingis. Ingram saw it and reacted to it, but then his man was wide open to 3, and Doncic saw it. And now let's see what happens here on the other end. I wasn't watching that as closely, and looks like Porzingis clocked him right in the head, Zion. But again, he's reacting. I guess they called the foul on the floor though instead. Zion posting up, going through. Tries to go into 2 guys, and there he could have. Are they going to get another foul?
They called a foul.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Kleba brings his arms down. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't see a ton of contact.
I think the ref was blocked and thought there must have been contact. I didn't see much there.
Yeah, maybe he comes down with the left arm. We couldn't see that.
Didn't get a good replay.
Yeah, but Zion will make only his second trip to the foul line in this game and misses the free throw.
And where Zion fits defensively, like not at this point, but when he's 23, 24 is going to be such a key to the theory of the Pelicans. And it might just be that David Griffin wants to keep his options open for a couple of years as they figure it out.
Early switch here. Now Ingram, not good at getting through screens. Oh, there it is. They ran the same play again, but that time they got the switch first, and there was not help available to take away that open side pick and roll. Carlisle went right back to the same play again. Ingram missing the mid-ranger. Doncic sends Williamson flying. Now it's a 5-on-4. Zion not exactly hustling to get back here. And this is going to lead to an easy drive. They're going to get a 3 eventually with Doncic, and Pels are lucky that he missed it. Yeah, I mean, if you're Zion, this is 2 minutes into the half. You just shot free throws. You had a break. Like, that needs to be a sprint back there. And there's Holiday. I'm not sure who lost him. I got to check on that because, yeah, Doncic just
Luka.
completely fell asleep there. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he thought Curry was going to pick him up. Same play again here. Pick and roll. That time they forced Doncic away. Stunt from Ball. 3 from Porzingis is off. That was much better defended. See, that's why you keep the guy on the side in that side pick and roll, because that way you can't get that middle penetration and then the open side for the roller. Missed 3 from Holiday. Early screen stepping up. Now it's a drag. Good job by Holiday getting through 2 screens there. But Doncic relentless. He gets it right back. They switch this late. Porzingis trying to post up, and they knock it away. Good defense there by the Pels last 2 possessions.
And that if that had gone to a Porzingis Drew Holiday post up, I don't think that would have worked out super well for Kristaps.
Yeah. And these Favors late switches, I think, have been working pretty good. But yeah, again, I mean, I think Doncic against Favors is a much better matchup than Porzingis against Holiday in the post, and Porzingis needs to just get out of there once the switch has occurred. He's not recognizing it. Now Doncic is going to draw another foul. I think is that the 3rd foul that he has personally drawn on Holiday? That'll be Holiday's 3rd.
Yeah, I think he's drawn all 3 of them. I'm not sure. And he also, Luka drew a couple of the fouls on Favors, I believe. Fouls drawn is a stat that I would like to see make it more into the.
They have it in the European box score. Actually.
Yeah, it's so much of a value add, and I think there's more value in fouls drawn than rebounds personally. And there are certain players, and as you know, and there are times when it leads teams into the bonus where you can't see it in free throws, and then other players benefit from it.
Tipped out. Now it's 2-on-2. Holiday going to try and go at Hardaway, and Hardaway had no chance.
Yeah, great job there by Drew using his patience to get Holiday. Just Holiday was going to jump at some point, and then just get up right after that.
So many young players, like Eric Paschal is on. I was actually talking to a Warriors coach about this the other day, that, you know, he's got this great strength as Kleba with a nice drive, great rotation from Holiday to stop him. If you've got this great strength, as Zion tries to jump stop, and he got tripped by Kleba. How did they not call that? Holiday left-handed pass. It's Ball in the corner. So what I was saying about Paschal is when you're strong, you don't have to go as hard as you can. You can work to your spot. You can trust your strength that you're going to be able to knock the guy backward, get to the spot, and by staying in control, number 1, the shot blockers can't time you up. Number 2, you're not going to get charges. And number 3, by being in control, you've also got more passing windows available to you because you can just kind of perceive everything a little bit better when you're not going a million miles an hour.
And that was a high degree of difficulty shot by Tim Hardaway Jr. over Brandon Ingram.
Ingram goes into Hardaway, and he commits his 2nd offensive foul of the game on Tim Hardaway. First one might have been on Finney Smith. I think it was Hardaway, though. And the second time he's gotten the elbow pretty far up in the chest area. Wonder if they will actually take a look at this. Maybe not.
I mean, that's an elbow to the head.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ingram, you'll see guys who are not necessarily the quickest. They're the guys who do those push-offs more because they're not just blowing by the guy initially.
Great time to get some of your questions.
Oh, I'll take this one. Yeah, I guess they must be reviewing this now, actually.
I would think so.
Should we? Is it a chance to do the flagrant categories here? Maybe we should do that. Is that exciting, or should I talk about my favorite places in Canada? What do you think, Danny? What would you rather hear about?
Canada. As a Canadian citizen.
Yeah, my wife's a Canadian
and J.E.
too.
Skeets was in here before, so
yeah, my wife's a Canadian citizen too. I could be a citizen of Canada potentially if I wanted to. Maybe I should do that. So I mean, there's so many options. Vancouver, the Banff and Jasper area was amazing. Toronto, Montreal, those are probably the 4.
Have you gone to Quebec City?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't enjoy it quite as much. I've been there twice. It wasn't quite as it didn't find the food selection.
Yeah,
quite as
it's
good.
different. I just love the architecture there. I remember going
We
as a
spent
kid.
one day too long there.
That seems fair.
Yeah, and I had been there before to appreciate the architecture, and I'm kind of more into the culture. I mean, I love the patois of Montreal, where you're sitting in a restaurant and you hear, these tables next to you of people. One sentence is in French, one sentence is in English. There's a lot of like Asian and Jewish culture there as well. So we got a pretty good Jewish deli that I went to. Yeah, so but I mean, probably there's great cities in the U.S. too. I mean, so probably there's another foul for Doncic.
On Drew Holiday.
I'll stop Van Gundying here and actually talk about the game in a second. But yeah, I mean, it's probably got to be Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, that whole area.
Yeah, that's one place in Canada I have never been and might be going to this summer, depending on how things go.
Got to stay at the Glen Ogle bed and breakfast.
Noted.
It's like 30 minutes away from Lake Louise. Anyway, back to basketball here.
Well, now they're shooting free throws. So
yeah, so Luka, I mean, even I would say he doesn't look quite as dynamic as he did before he's had these ankle issues. He's acknowledged that he's had some soreness in that ankle, and it might be the kind of thing he's managing. It's not 100% for a while. And then he's got this thumb issue as well, which he re-aggravated in the first half. But he's still, I mean, Drew Holiday is about as good as it gets for just straight up off the dribble. It's not like he's posting him up here. Zion, they try to hand off. It's still Kleba. Ball, they go under on him, and Ball drains it.
I think he's 6 of 8 now from 3 in this game.
Yeah, off of the 7 of 10 last night. Probably want to make him drive at this point. Now it's Frank Jackson and Luka. Yeah, get out of there, Porzingis. Let him post up. Luka goes right through him. Easy play. And there's got to be more help. But where does that come from with Porzingis, Kleba? I mean, really, Zion is probably the guy who's most positioned to help. Kleba is the least threatening three-point shooter out there, which is kind of a scary thought because he shoots 38%. Pick and roll, Zion and Ingram. Ingram pulls up good late contest. Doesn't matter from Hardaway. Tie game, 71 with just under 7 minutes left here in the third.
And Drew Holiday's 4th foul could end up being a huge swing factor in this. If he misses extended time, they just don't have other defenders.
Hardaway off 2 wide pin downs into the lane. That time Zion did help. Kleba left wide open for 3, and he misses it. And, I mean, with this defensive personnel out there and this crazy lineup for the Pels with Curry starting as there's the face-up J from Zion. Again, I think he's getting a little scared here as Doncic tries to draw the foul, and they're going to give him the block.
Well, I mean, Brandon Ingram just flew in there without setting it all and then tried to take a charge. How did Ingram think that he was gonna get an offensive foul on that?
I think he wasn't prepared for Doncic to just run into him and try to draw the foul. I mean, I think he was setting up for it, and Doncic just went full speed into him before he was set. So good job by him. But yeah, Zion. I mean, 2 face-up jumpers just backing off of him. I think Porzingis is starting to get in his head a little bit here, and that's the question we've had. Those types of players have been the ones, especially as help defenders. I like the idea too of having Zion be guarded, and the Wolves actually did this too a little bit yesterday, but they don't have any kind of rim protector. But guard Zion with your power forward, and then have your rim protecting center be able to get over, because a lot of these centers, if you guard him straight up with the center, those guys are too slow to stay with him off the dribble. He can get around them. Mm-hmm. Whereas this way, they can kind of time him up, come over, get their chest on him, or come in from behind for the block.
Well, and that's also part of why would be so huge if Zion can eventually defend at a center level, because then it's harder to play that guy on the floor.
Precisely.
Or why the unicorn, the idea of getting that center that can also protect the rim. Since I'm thinking of it, and I haven't the entire game, something else you can do to support this endeavor is Patreon. Patreon.com/Duncan LaRue. We do subscriber-only podcasts every month. We will do a mailbag podcast at some point during the great month of March. And we also do salary cap sheets and whatever else we can think of to make it a worthwhile experience. And the questions we get in those subscriber mailbags are usually excellent, and the format allows us to go really in depth. Like, we've done 10 to 15 minute answers on a single question before if we got really into it.
Yeah, and actually last one we answered one from every single person who submitted.
Yeah.
Michael Cassidy using the hashtag NBAcast on Twitter. Zion looks like he only has about 70% of his explosion and bounce. Is it something that can return, or can the meniscus permanently impact him in that way? I don't know the answer to that, actually. I think certainly he looks a little bit heavier than he could be. It really has shown up to me more on the defensive end than the offensive end. I mean, he's still getting his head pretty close to the rim, but I agree with you. It's not quite as ridiculous as it used to be, and still crazy how good he's been. But I think it's becoming clear also in this game that he doesn't have a plan when there are teams that are going to be disciplined, that have that rim protector who can come over and cause problems for him. So he's got to get better. The athleticism can be part of that. Obviously, the skill level can be part of that too.
Yeah. One more food question. Somebody asked if we've ever had Culver's. I have not. I think
no, it's a glaring omission actually.
Yeah, I was only in Wisconsin the last time I was there for 2 days, and the only kind of thing like that I had was Cobb's, which was amazing. But I didn't get Culver's while I was there.
Yeah, Steph Curry is gonna be back tomorrow. Hopefully he won't be on like some crazy minutes limit either. So actually gonna be at those first 2 games.
But I have not yet decided if I'm going to go to the Sixers game.
Yeah, I mean if he's gonna play, I think I'm gonna try and go to every game that I can when he's playing. Here's Curry pick and roll with Porzingis. Good job by Jackson getting through. Porzingis crossing up on Favors, had the shot, didn't take it, but then just shoots over him once Favors had recovered. Good defense, but a better shot from Porzingis in the mid-range. Porzingis, by the way, he's going to go left every single time. Zion trying to post up. They missed him posting up the charge circle. Jackson missed him on the roll. Jackson missed the shot. Frank Jackson not known for his passing. Curry has Porzingis open. Took too late to get it. That should have been the right-handed behind-the-back pass. His brother would have thrown that pass. Curry looking to drive, stepping back on ball, and his perfect night is finally ended from 3.
And that was probably the toughest three-pointer Seth Curry has taken in this game.
Oh, easily. Ball now trying to go to the post. Fades away, and they're going to get a shove here on Curry. Got 2 hands in the back of Ball.
And Lonzo Ball has the ability to do a strength game against certain opponents. I mean, he never gets to the free throw line, but I think he could develop that over the next couple of years. But when you play him with a point guard, it's less common.
Ingram almost throws it away. Ball able to recover, though. He's got Doncic on his back. Attacks, nice quick left hand, and tips in his own miss. Now Ball has the matchup on Doncic. Early screen. Doncic attacks right past Favors. Blew the layup, however. Porzingis couldn't get the tip. Now it's 4-on-2. Zion missing Jackson in the corner. Doesn't matter. Goes right through Kleba for the dunk.
I want to see that again to see if that was Kleba.
Nope, that was a flop.
Yeah,
because he's not in his path, right? I mean, Zion, he's headed towards the right corner. Kleba would have needed to be at a 45-degree angle to the basket there. Doncic gets Zion in the air, back cut, throws into traffic. Zion attacking, 2-on-1, and Euro foul by Curry.
One of the many reasons why they need to take that out of the game. Why is that better than getting a layup or a dunk there?
Yeah.
It also slows the game down.
And it also hurts Mark Stroutman's over.
Yes, it does.
But he really should have priced that in, too. As the number of Euro fouls in this game, he should have priced that in. Cuban can't believe the no charge there, but he's wrong. Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
By the way, have we heard about that protested game?
No, we still haven't. Pick and roll, Ingram. They'll switch this with Cauley-Stein. Cauley-Stein got scored on by Ingram earlier. Ingram sizing him up, attacking, shoves him out of the way. Good help from Porzingis, but that leaves Hart wide open for a 3, but he can't get it. Porzingis, and again, you see, Kristaps Porzingis just does not react to the ball quickly in a defensive rebounding situation, right? Like you see here, if you watch the replay, you guys won't get a chance to see, but we did on our second screen. He's just standing just dead straight up in a line. And if you're not in athletic position, then it takes you a second to react to the ball, and that's why he lost it out of bounds. He couldn't get there fast. So here's Hart. I thought he was going to try and yoke it on Cauley Stein, but he finished instead with the left. Hart is an excellent finisher. He's kind of like a mini Holiday in the way he finishes with his strength at the basket. Doncic turns the corner into Melli. Clear foul on Melli. He couldn't get his chest in front of him that time.
And a big part of Dallas's offense so far in this third quarter has been Luka Doncic drawing fouls. And that is, that can be a sustainable offense against almost anybody. That said, Dallas has 16 points so far before these Doncic free throws in the third quarter.
Yeah, and the acceleration from Doncic on that play. I mean, he was able to get on top of the rim before Melli could even react, and obviously beating his initial defender as well. Looks like Ben timed out our scheduled tweets a little bit late. He just tweeted for the halftime show, but that's okay. Even though it's not halftime, we're still talking. Maybe people will tune in anyway. Porzingis that time gets the offensive rebound back. Team offensive rebound for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a look at that left thumb for Luka. Luka into the corner, double team. Now Melli picks him up. And see, Porzingis didn't get out of there fast enough, and they're able to switch back. Here's a drive by Wright, who's come on. Porzingis fading away. Oh, man.
If he gets the footwork on that consistently, that's going to be just nasty.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to close out to Porzingis' left hand if you're Melli. I mean, that's a tough thing to know, but this is the NBA. You should have an idea that Kristaps Porzingis always goes left. Wow, what a shot by Ingram. And Courtney Lee, who's been exhumed with Finney Smith on the bench. We haven't seen Kid Gilchrist yet this half, and he immediately commits a foul for a 4-point play attempt.
Yeah, he might be de-exhumed.
Yeah, we don't really have the angle to see whether that was a good call or not. This might give us an idea. Yeah, still can't really see it. I mean, I think, his butt does hit Ingram in the chest. I mean, that's a pretty obvious foul, I think, ultimately.
Yeah, and Ingram didn't. It's not like he really jumped in a ridiculous manner.
That was a normal shooting motion.
Yeah.
I mean, when your body hits the other guy's body after the shot, you don't have much of an argument. Right, looking to post up Porzingis, 1-on-1 against Ingram. Let's see if he can actually back down a little bit here. Oh, he's big surprise. He's going left, but he sets up Lee for the open three, and he drains it. Yeah, Frank Jackson came over off of Lee. I'm not sure what happened there. He was trying to sink down on a Cauley Stein. Here's another three from Hart over Porzingis. It goes wanting. Right on the drive. Back out Doncic, and they'll reset. Doncic stepping back on Ingram to his left. Oh, yeah. Luka Doncic starting to cook here.
3 of 7 from 3.
He'll pick up ball now and stop the fast break. They want to get Ingram in the post. Josh Hart conveniently points it out against Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee, a dogged defender in this league for a number of years, but Ingram got pretty good separation, shot right over him. Maybe that's why Courtney Lee hasn't been playing this year.
And with Porzingis on the floor, I think there could be an angle for MKG here.
So the Pels now are going to Ingram on Porzingis. As Porzingis, nice shot off the glass. Again, going towards his right shoulder, but still in that same general direction. But they're trying to switch that Doncic-Porzingis pick and roll now with Ingram and ball. Ingram going right back to the same matchup as well. Cauley Stein comes over. Nice pass to the corner with Jackson. Melli set the screen, and Jackson drains the three. Good recognition from Ingram.
Yeah, and Ingram seeing that pass cross court, and when you start drawing more attention, then you have to be better as a passer. It's something Jason Tatum's going to deal with now too.
So they go for the double drag. Luka turns the corner. Leave, tries to hit another three. Can't. Rebound Hart. Buck 17 left in the quarter. Hart, as Jackson draws two, swings it, and Melli's going to get a three. And that was all. He missed that three, but that was great sprinting the floor from Frank Jackson. He just caused confusion. Two guys to guard him, and they set up a swing for a wide open three by Melli. Everyone looking a little bit tired now here with some up and down action. Cauley Stein going to set it for Doncic. Makes good contact on the screen. Doncic steps back. Couldn't cash that one out, though. And Pels will probably try for the 2-for-1 here.
They should. The timing should work out pretty well here.
I said probably. They did not actually, and didn't take a great shot there either. Now Mavs can get it themselves, and it's going to be Lee with the dunk. 33-year-old Courtney Lee. What do you think? Is that his first dunk of the year? I bet you it is. To the basketball reference. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Is your guess is that it is? I'm gonna say he has one other dunk.
I'm gonna say it is because I don't think he's played that much in garbage time either.
It is his second. I win.
Damn it.
He had one dunk last year. Then he had 4 the year before. This is my greatest victory.
All right, so it'll catch you up here. So actually, is that the under 3 timeout that just happened?
I think it is.
I think it might be, yeah, because Hardaway was going to check in. He went back to the bench. That usually means it's because it's the under timeout. Yeah, I think that's it right there. They finally got a stoppage with that air ball as they were trying for another 2-for-1 attempt. Catch you up on the stats, though. Porzingis, he's up to 22 points, 9 of 17 for him. Doncic, pretty ugly, 6 of 11 from the foul line, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 21 points in all. Seth Curry only has the 1-3 in the second half. He's got 17 points. Pels, Lonzo Ball leading them with 22, 6 of 8 from downtown, 4 assists. Favors has by far the best plus-minus on the team at plus 14. The defense has really fallen off without him. Zion, 12 points, and it's taken him 14 shooting possessions to get there. Not a very efficient night from him. Ingram has 20, Holiday on 17 for the Pels.
The possession game so far, pretty similar turnovers, 11 for Dallas, 10 for New Orleans. Then the offensive rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds for the Pels, though it seemed like they got 5 of them on one play. That crazy one where those Favors, I think, got a couple on the same possession. But it's 8-2 in favor of New Orleans there.
Do we harp on 2-for-1s a bit too much? I think especially at the end of a close game, no. We probably don't harp on it enough.
It is one of the few times that you can create a material advantage just out of a little bit of tactics.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it can look ugly at times, like that air ball. And sometimes players will try to do it without really enough time to make it work. Let's see. Josh Jackson's recent play. Talked about him on, I think, the last 15 and 60 that we did, not last week, but the week before.
Yeah, I think that's right.
When did NBA referees reach the level of professionalism and accuracy they're at today? Yesterday. No, I mean, I think that they are better than ever. I mean, clearly the Tim Donaghy thing was bad. The criticism is that these guys are kind of too robotic now, especially these young officials. They have a way that it's going to get called. They don't kind of swallow their whistles when they need to. They just make the call that the league mandates that they make. And, I understand that criticism to some degree, but overall, I'd rather just have a higher level of consistency and accountability. All right, here we go. A long stretch of commercial-free action here, about a 6-second differential. Doncic gets the screen from Cauley-Stein, engages Melly on the switch. Hardaway comes off of it. His 3 is wide open, but a little long. Lee on the offensive glass tries to save it, but throws it right to Ball. It's a head-to-heart. He's going to attack Hardaway and can't score. Good defense without fouling by Tim Hardaway, and that preserves Dallas's 2-point advantage here at the end of the third.
And as we talked about briefly before, leading scorers in this game, it's actually a tie between Kristaps Porzingis and Lonzo Ball. Both those guys have 22. Porzingis, 9 of 17 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Lonzo Ball, 2 of 5 on 2s and 6 of 8 on 3s, just as everybody expected before this season. Ball also has 4 assists and 2 turnovers, and the aforementioned +0 plus-minus. I will answer some of your questions. Thoughts on Karis LeVert's recent surge and how sustainable it is? I need to watch them a little bit more. I talked about this on the podcast that came out this morning that I regretted not watching, as things turned out, not watching that fourth quarter. So I'm going to need to see a little bit more before I make an adjudication. That I'm guessing will be something on the next East 15 and 60, so that will be a couple weeks. But yeah, I want to watch more film before I say anything definitive. In your opinion, what role does Kevin Porter Jr. look to have, and can he contribute to a winning team? Second question first. Yes, I think he can contribute to a winning team. I like him a lot with the ball in his hands right now. That is a problem for Cleveland because they have mostly guys that are better with than without the ball in their hands. A lot of that can be due to limited jump shooting. But yeah, I like Kevin Porter. My instinct for the early stages of his career, were he on a better team, would be that he would be a kind of like a second unit scorer initiator type guy who would play with another guy who can, be active in transition. I think that's a good role for him. But remember, Kevin Porter Jr. is extremely young. I think that as he gets stronger, as he gets older and more skilled, he can work into being a starter on a better team than the Cavs. But I am a Kevin Porter optimist. I think that he is their best perimeter prospect. Let's put it that way. Not best perimeter player right now quite yet. How do you see a Heat Bucks playoff series turning out? I think the Bucks would be meaningful favorites in that series. Miami can give them trouble, but a lot of things have to go right for Miami and things have to go wrong for the Bucks for the Heat to win, especially when they won't have home court. So if that series turns out, I would have the Bucks as meaningful favorites, though I acknowledge what Miami can do to make life hard on them. Does Frank Ntilikina have a future in the NBA? I think he does. I think that his defense is good enough to get there, and offensively, I mean, the challenge is if a guard who's good defensively and shaky offensively, you have to be really good and then improving. But I think he's going to get another couple of shots, and then maybe if he gets to like 26 and he's still not there, then he'll be out of the league. But that's a while from now.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to the pod from the other day when we talked about Houston, New York, I thought he actually looked like a real NBA guard, like handling the ball and like shooting jumpers off the dribble. If he can just get even to a passable level, he could be a quality backup with his defense.
And we should be just about back. Friend of the pod, Rick Carlisle, talking to Israel Gutierrez.
What sort of food do I like? Vegas is an amazing Asian food scene.
I think they were responding to somebody who asked about Vegas recommendations.
Oh, yeah. Mian is amazing there. The cold noodles, the spicy cold noodles there, I've been completely obsessed with. I went there 2 days in a row when I was there for the showcase, and I've been trying to find a place that's as good here, and I haven't found it yet. There's also a chain. They have an outlet in Honolulu and in L.A. More nice drive.
That's not the place we went, right?
No.
Okay.
And ties the game at 87. Backdoor, Hardaway. Beautifully set up play. When it's a shooter, they always are going to go over the screen so you can get that back screen. Here's Jackson on a blow-by drive on Doncic. What acceleration from Jackson.
And there needs to be kind of like a centerpiece of Frank Jackson's game, and that was a great drive. Maybe that'll get there over the next few years. Yeah,
I mean, his athleticism and shooting ability have never been in question. It's just his passing. I mean, this is his third year now. The lost development time for him with those foot issues in his first year obviously really hurt. Spain pick and roll. They communicate pretty well on this. Doncic on the drive, forced into a miss. Good help. Actually, Zion came over to bother him a little bit. And then, Dalen Wright is just an absolute shark. He knew exactly where Holiday was going with that. Those two guys are two of the most sticky hands in the league. And then Wright, deep three, they went under on him, rightfully so, and he drains it from well behind the line. Tied at 90. Zion fakes the DHO, goes into Kleba. Great defense again by Kleba. Zion is down. Here's the attack, 4-on-3. Doncic in the corner. Good job getting back. He'll take the three anyway, though, and miss it. And Cauley-Stein, good fight by him, and it'll be a team rebound. Stay here in favor of Dallas.
Yeah, and there have been more than a few plays this time when Zion has been stopped and he just never got back into play. There, he
Yeah, I mean,
lost
that's
his-
not a trip, right? Like, he's
No.
spinning back into him. Kleba is right within the cone of his body. That's not a foul. Trying to post Porzingis on Holiday. Holiday getting into his body. Porzingis just shoots over him, and it rims out. Like, that's just not a good enough shot. I mean, I know Doncic is off the floor, but they've got Melli at center, Zion at the 4. You can do better than that just running a pick and roll.
And this is a rough shooting night for Melli. He's missed all 7 of his shots from the field, 6 threes.
Yeah, and he was 0 of 3 from downtown last night as well. Oh, 6 is here. Hey, come here. Don't chew on that wire, please. No, that's going to ruin the whole broadcast. Come on. There we go.
And the sub patterns here are going to be a challenge. We have a lot of the team's best players on the floor at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Porzingis deep in the corner, gives it up to Wright. Good defense on the out-of-bounds play. Wright, Holiday just gets right through that screen. Porzingis going to his right. You can see he's not comfortable. Right on the pick and pop. DAL on Wright, 2 threes in a row, and Dallas leads it by 3. Jackson, they go under on him. He'll take the 3 right back to tie it at 93.
And a nice 6-point push by him and a 6-point push by DeLon Wright as well around the same time.
Porzingis, pick and roll with Hardaway. Porzingis on the roll, trying to roll into Melli, seals him off, and then gets the tip. Nice pick and roll action. Pels did not bring help from the wing, and they're able to get it done. Here's Zion, deep post up, and Porzingis didn't recognize that time, but Kleba stopped him anyway, and he got it back. Porzingis was too slow getting back that time. When Zion makes that catch there, he doesn't move quickly enough. He'd done a great job of that tonight, but not that time.
A stat I'd love to see is the players with the highest offensive rebound percentage off their own misses. I'm betting Zion is going to start pushing hard in that.
More great hands by the Pels. I think that was Holiday who got him. They're trying to post Zion here. Missed him on the lob. Moore's 3 is short. Etuan Moore has not had the touch from outside. They wanted him to shoot threes at a higher rate this year. That hasn't worked out.
Yeah, the only Pelicans bench player to make a 3 in this game is Frank Jackson, who's 3 of 3.
2 screens for Curry. Porzingis on the roll. Too hot to handle, and it's behind him. Porzingis, his hands are average, I would say.
Yeah, and that's a part of some of the issues with rebounding. It's more reactions and positioning, but that doesn't help. Miscommunication there, leading to a Pelicans turnover. Dallas getting the ball. Still a tie game.
I'm going to preserve our wires. It's funny, actually. She rarely does this. I think she just kind of wants some attention here.
It's a good way
But
to get
you're
it.
just going to have to settle for sitting down 6.
And that's a disparity between points off turnovers and fast break points. Some of that can be a logging issue. Dallas has a big advantage in points off turnovers, even though the turnover numbers are equal. But fast break points, as logged by ESPN, just 10 to 9 in favor of Dallas. So it's not live ball turnovers where they've been getting those extra points.
Wright attacks his opposite 55, has to throw it out. No advantage gain there. Curry will take an advantage, and he traveled. That's how he got it. So critical time here with Doncic off the floor. Pels need to make a little headway. They've got Zion in there. Monster screen by Zion. And yeah, I think, are they going to call an offensive foul here? Is that Hardaway again who just kind of got chucked in the chest? Yeah, clear moving screen on Zion that time. Three moving screen calls that Hardaway, or I guess 2 of them were push-offs. One was a moving screen. Here's the drive by Curry. Floats it way out to Wright. Can he make it 3 in a row? Oh, yeah! DAL Wright having the shooting game of his life here. Trying to post Zion again. Kleba doing a great job of battling him. Holiday goes into traffic, and it'll remain Pell's ball. Mavs in disagreement. I'm sure Mark Cuban will tell him that they made the right call, though.
Yeah, and we'll see. Drew Holiday picked up that 4th foul around this mark in the 3rd quarter, and now has been clean so far in the 4th.
The cat would like you to pet her.
I can do that, and I will multitask and tell about boogies.com.
Oh, big time. Yeah. What is the over under for number of minutes that Six is going to stay here before she leaves? Can
Oh, under
we get some
2.
action on that? Oh yeah. All right. No, she'll be here for longer than that. I
Okay.
think. All right.
Um,
We'll start the clock right now.
I don't know. I don't know if we have wagering on this, but for all NBA activity, you can go to bookies.com/NBA. And one of the things that I really like about it is that it is about information. It's about getting you the right things. That can be picks from Mark Stropman and Adam Thompson. That can be getting you just the lines everywhere. So if you're thinking you want to do an over-under, you want to do a parlay, not every place is going to be the same. And of course, having the best sign-up deals in the business helps too.
Yeah, they'll also, on occasion, take our information that we give and try to put a betting lens on that as well. Bill Sparrows does a nice job with that. And you get those great deals clicking through for legal betting in your state. So we appreciate you supporting them. We also appreciate you supporting us at patreon.com/Duncan LaRue with our subscriber-only podcast, exclusive show notes as well. Anytime we do rankings, our awards, that kind of stuff, that'll be 2-3 posts a week just on that. If you don't have time to listen to an episode, you can still check in, see how we ranked guys. Also salary sheets, which will be huge as we get into the off season to see how things are, not only for this year but also going into 2021. And they're a little bit different from some of the other stuff that's available. It's more of kind of a snapshot in time, but it also has my projections of what teams are actually going to do, whether they'll guarantee someone or not, whether they'll keep a certain cap hold on the books. So you can get an idea of what the scenarios are for a team rather than just looking straight up at what's literally on the books or not. They try to give you another layer than what might be out there in some other places.
Vance Williams asked, do you remember the moment you first fell in love with basketball / the NBA? One thing that's interesting is those moments chronologically are very different between the two of us. I just did a pod with Ben Taylor talking about my background. I didn't fall in love with basketball until my freshman year of college, and seeing it from the third row at a half court for that UCLA team wasn't great. Ariza was the best player probably on that team. But seeing the athleticism and the strategy and everything else in person was what made me fall in love with the sport.
Yeah, I can't deal with this like sports car Acura commercial. Bring back like the Integra or the RSX and a non-hybrid NSX, and then maybe we can talk a little bit. Like I don't need like a bunch of SUVs telling me how good you are at racing. What do we got here? Should we reset? Oh, we got questions. Let's do some more questions.
From someone wanting to gain a more detailed insight on players, teams, and the NBA in general, what types of mediums would you suggest to get that type of insight? I mean, read and listen to as much as you can there are a lot of really smart people. I'm proud that I work with a lot of them at The Athletic, like Seth's work, Kevin Pelton's work, and video stuff.
Hollinger is great too.
And the video stuff that you can do too. I mean, that's a great thing. I suck at it because I can't do video stuff, but it's a great way to learn the sport because you can see it, and some people are very visual learners.
Yeah, Zion, this is the first time we've seen him get a little frustrated with calls. He went right through Kleba. I mean, his touch is very, very underrated going to that left hand, but Kleba was there again. He made that a difficult shot. We haven't seen him just get beasted here. Right? They're looking for Porzingis. Porzingis caught Melly with an elbow, no call. Now he tries to go to the fader over Melly and scores. The post-up is back. The Porzingis post-up is back.
Yeah, as long as he's not trying to establish position, just takes the shot, it works.
Zion going back to go against Porzingis. Back out Melly, closed down by Kleba. They hand off to Jackson. He ain't passing this. Oh, he did. Hand off Holiday. Holiday just ran up to him and went and got it. And Jackson will get a wide open three for his trouble. Melly keeping it alive, but eventually Curry controls. Now Curry will take the three. Oh, man, he wanted a quick transition three. Couldn't get it. He's missed his last couple. Holiday had Melly, didn't see him, but he wants to go at Porzingis. Just steps back on him. And I thought that was too much of a give. But now they throw it ahead, KP, and wow,
that looked like a great no call to me. I don't think Drew did anything wrong.
Yeah, that could have been the fifth, and yeah, he did narrowly avoid him. Porzingis thought he should have gotten a call. I mean, this is the right pass.
Oh, that was. I think he like it was lower body contact. I would have called that foul.
By the way, Cat's still here.
Yeah, I lost. Granted, you have a lot more data to work with.
Ingram is back. Favors is back. Zion getting a little bit of a rest. This is more back to his normal rotation pattern. Moore. Ball with a deep three. Wow, man. I mean, Lonzo Ball, like, that's 7 threes again. 2 games in a row. And that one was deep with a hand in his face. Curry. Oh, Holiday just stays right with him. No, they're going to get Holiday with the foul. And I think that is actually the right call. He got his hands in on him just a little bit to try to create that space. Yeah, I mean, look at this three from Ball. Like, he knows he has the size advantage on Curry, and he just pulls it.
And we've talked many times, including with these former Lakers teammates in particular, about how three-point percentage is important, but volume and percentage is the real combination that you need. And both of those guys have really upped that this year.
Right. Swings it to Hardaway, goes into Ingram, and Ingram commits the foul.
He swung twice there, and the first swing was the foul.
Yeah, I mean, the Pels did a pretty good job of communicating, but Ingram just needed to not commit that foul. He's got the size advantage. Just force him into a tough shot. For Kep Cold's question about a more detailed insight on the NBA, I have a Twitter list called Essential Basketball, and I read every tweet on that list, and pretty close to every article by every person who is on that list that is shared. Danny is on that, obviously, a lot of the names that he mentioned. But that's pretty much like how I keep up with everything, and I get all of my information. So sometimes I'll just go to the Athletic homepage, theathletic.com/capspace, by the way. All right, we're back here. 2-point game. Frank Jackson continues to get some run. They've got Favors at center. Mavs in a zone. Swing it to Jackson. He attacks along the baseline. Favors with the left and scores.
And Porzingis was a little late there. I think he could have affected that shot more.
Yeah, he hasn't looked quite as mobile here in the second half stint. But, he made the first stop. He couldn't make the second. Porzingis' three is off. Ingram looking to push it. Mavs are back, though. They don't really attack the offensive glass. Ingram looking to go at him. Now they get the switch. He wants Lee instead of Hardaway. Going at him to the right hand. Tough fade away is good. Tough shot there. New Orleans by 2. They've been quite resilient in this game. I thought it might get away from them in that second quarter, and they battled back quite nicely.
And in case anybody's mind you want to wander somewhere else, the only other game that's going on, Portland 90, Washington Wizards 68. So stick here with us.
Yeah, that's Dame Lillard's return. How's he doing?
Lillard has my screen moved over right as I was about to pull his stats. Thank you, Box Score. He's plus 20. That I can tell you right now. 18 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3 in 24 minutes so far, but they're in the third quarter.
Yeah. By the way, I think a lot of people have talked about some of the departures from Portland. I think that they really are missing Seth Curry a lot. Now, they had no way to re-sign him to come close to matching that full mid-level exception offer from Dallas. But, I mean, he was a really underrated part of their bench being passable last year. And, replacing him with Anthony Simons has been a massive downgrade.
Granted, Jake Layman has missed a lot of this year due to injury. It's not like he's been being paid a lot of money right now either.
Oh, you're saying having lost Layman?
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything for them.
I mean, but they needed forwards in the worst way. I mean, just giving him 15 minutes a game would have helped. I think I'm more on board with Layman than you are, though.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
I don't know if that person wonder who Lonzo's shooting coach is. It's Fred Vincent. We've talked about him a fair amount on this broadcast.
Yeah, no, I mean he's had a lot of success with a lot of guys, including Ingram. I mean, and I think actually the work that he's done with Ingram is more impressive than Lonzo, because Lonzo at least was like taking a fair amount. He was supposed to be a good shooter in college.
Somebody asked for most improved player. That's something that I need to do research on, and I wait until the season is basically over, because frustratingly enough, most improved player for the statistical part of that is actually a very hard thing to dig out, because margins are not the easiest thing to search. Maybe I'll try to have somebody do that for me. Somebody who's smarter than I at scrubbing.
Are you concerned about Brooke Lopez's down shooting this year? Yeah, I think so, because last year at 36% was really about the highest that he got.
I'm less concerned just because it in the micro, you can say micro or macro, respect is the most important thing. If people still fear your jump shot, then it can still work. And I think that teams are still going to fear Brook Lopez's jump shot. However, then I guess that's the macro, but then the micro is if he's actually a worse shooter, then that affects the Bucks' theoretical success offensively. And that I've talked about that with a few people about them having a cold streak, the other team having a hot streak from three can that increases the variance for a team that's this good.
I got a couple questions about the foul on Smart last night. I did not see that, so
I only saw it live and it looked like a foul to me. So I'm relying solely on that moment. I tweeted out like, "What are you doing, Boston?" Because like jumping on that 3-pointer seemed like a mistake. I thought it was a foul. The league agreed.
Little dribble pitch action with right, cut off nicely by Ingram. Doncic has returned, and he'll be hacked by Lonzo Ball. Looks to be the third team foul. Oh, that might be. I think that's actually timeout, so never mind. Pick and roll again, Favors in more of a drop contain, and Doncic goes right at him, and there's Porzingis with the tip. He's had a couple of those with the offensive glass exposed. They've forced a miss initially, but he's had inside position. That's one of the easier ways to score off the pick and roll. Ball, pocket pass, Favors into Porzingis, stopped by Porzingis. Right looking to push it. He's got Hardaway on the right wing. Good job by the Pels getting back, but Doncic now goes at Favors, gets to that right hand, fades away, passes off the mark to Porzingis. He's closed down by Ball. They want to get into that post up again with Porzingis. Goes over the right shoulder immediately. Again.
And didn't move Lonzo Ball at all there.
Yeah. Now, I have said that I think he just needs to focus on the fadeaway a little bit more in the turnaround, because when he's a really good shooter before you get into his body, as there's more, can't get the floater. And then right, man, that guy gets another deflection, but it's right to Jackson, and he misses the wide open three. 104 apiece. Doncic right down the lane. They miscommunicate, and he scores easily over Jackson. And Alvin Gentry quite displeased. He'll take a timeout. He wants to get Zion and Drew Holiday back in the game. Interesting to check out.
I think Lucas complained because I think he wanted an and one there. I didn't see that much contact though.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a foul live. Let's see it. Yeah, he kind of got him on the left arm. I mean, that's one that they might just let go.
They apparently did.
Yeah, Porzingis now leading all scorers, 28 points in all, 12 of 23 from the field, only 1 of 1 from the foul line. Back to the point I was making about him, we say, oh, he should back down, he should try to get better position, but sometimes just getting a body onto him, he's not going to move the guy. So if you've got the open look, he's got the height, why not just turn and shoot it when you're open? It looks ugly when you're like, oh, when he misses, you're like, oh, he should have tried more, but I don't know that backing down necessarily gets him a better shot than that. Really, the question is, are any of these shots good shots? It's worked out okay today. So, take a couple of questions while Danny is typing a tweet. Am I going to Sloan? No, I will not be there this year. Went last year. I did that presentation. I usually do 2 or 3 travel events during the season. I always do the Hoop Summit. G League Showcase is a lot easier to get to in Vegas and a lot less expensive. So those are usually the 2 that I'll do. Maybe I'll do one more sometimes, or go on a travel trip just to a few games. Here's Zion, guarded again capably by Kleba. Pick and roll. Ingram pulls up. Short. Zion on the offensive glass. It's over his head. And Doncic didn't really push it that hard. I think he was a little worried about Holiday taking away his dribble. Wants to get into Rick Carlisle's ATO here. Porzingis on the roll. Good pick and roll defense by Favors. Now he's on Porzingis too. Porzingis shoots over him and misses. That's what Derek Favors brings to this team that absolutely no one else on the roster can. Just knowing the angles and pick and roll defense perfectly. Zion goes down, somehow catches the pass. No fouls called again. He's been frustrated with the referees. Ball. Can't get it that time. That could have given him the lead. About 6 or 7 possessions left in this one. Doncic going at ball, stepping back. No, they don't have Holiday on him now because Holiday is on the 5 fouls. It's been Lonzo Ball's job. He's done a decent job these first couple of possessions. Ingram, they go under on him. His 3 has given the Pels the lead. Brandon Ingram, what a shooter he has made himself into. And the cat has to go away.
And if this game goes over, then goes to overtime, Stroutman's over might come back into play.
Screen roll coming here from Kleba. Uh-oh. They're going to switch this? No, Lonzo says, get the hell out of here, Zion. We don't want that matchup. They're going to just run it again now. Late clock. Doncic attacking. Create space. Curry, his 3. What a pass, though, by Doncic. And Curry has lost the range in this fourth quarter. Ingram, pick and roll. Zion tries to draw the foul. Can't do so, but just another ridiculous shot. And Rick Carlisle will take one of his 2 remaining timeouts with Dallas now trailing by 3. Brandon Ingram doing it all over the floor. Tried to draw the foul. Impossible shot on the baseline.
And now, remember, Dallas burning one of their timeouts there to get settled. Now they only have 1 for the remainder of the game. Presumably, they will save that for a late possession to try to advance the ball. So they can't really... I mean, they could technically, but it's hard to call that for any other reason.
Yeah, so what are you going to try and go to here? I mean, probably Doncic, Porzingis pick and roll, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably the place to go. Could even do Luka pick and roll with somebody else and then get more spacing for a drive. That could be a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, they've got as much shooting on the floor already as they basically can handle. Kleba, Hardaway at the, I guess, kind of at the 3, Curry. Finney Smith being out has really compromised their ability to defend Ingram one-on-one. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe they could try and go back to some kind of a quick hitter for a backdoor at first, but then I think it'll just be back to that Doncic-Porzingis pick and roll in the end. And that is indeed what they went to. They cut to it late. Favors, contains it, gets back. Zion actually had a nice rotation out of the corner to take away the lob to Porzingis. Now Curry against Zion. Kleba down the lane for the dunk as Ingram came over just a little bit late from the weak side off of Hardaway. Great pass by Curry as Drew Holiday could not get back in time on the veer back.
And Favors couldn't get over because he was guarding Porzingis in the opposite corner.
Here's Ingram. Oh, not a good shot at all. That was a little bit too much of a heat check right there. He had 10 on the clock, didn't need to take that shot. Now Dallas can take the lead. Still ball again on there. Yeah, they're going to try and engage Zion and pick and roll defense. And Kleba right down the lane. What a play by Holiday. He stopped the dunk of Kleba. Now the Pels have a chance to run some clock. Drew Holiday. Now they take the 3 right away. What was Ingram doing? They needed to run the time down. Now Dallas can get plenty of time for 2 possessions here. That was not good at all. He was wide open, so, I mean, that could have maybe iced the game, but maybe try and get that with the time running down. Now it's Doncic. He has Favors, gets past him to his left. Good help from Holiday, but Seth Curry is wide open, and Seth Curry has given Dallas a 2-point lead, and New Orleans will get a timeout. They'll try to come back with a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and there Zion had a choice to make. He could have left Kleba to get out to Seth Curry, who was wide open in the near corner, chose to be between the 2 guys, didn't defend anything.
Yeah, and Drew Holiday, he came over, made a great play at the rim again. He's a really good rim protecting guard, but they didn't get that second rotation into the corner. And really, if you're Zion, you do have to go to the corner. That's your responsibility, to get down the low man in the corner, and then you got to trust someone else to come down and X you out back at the wing, especially with Curry, a more threatening shooter than Kleba.
So we got asked the question of...
Well, let's actually focus on the game here. This might be a short break. So
Sure.
They got to get the 2-for-1. They're going to advance the ball. I might try and maybe run something quick here. I mean, that was also a great no-look by Luka to set up Curry in the corner. and not much of an effort either way by Zion. But I might try to get like a quick lob into Zion here to get the quick 2 and tie it. That's something that could go pretty fast. And then if that's not there, then maybe you try to drive the front. But they have not gone to Zion at all. It's been mostly pick and roll. They don't believe, I guess, that he is going to be able to just kill Kleba the way he has everyone else. Looks like they did try to get it in. Curry taking it away, though. Now they finally lob it into Zion. Back to Ball. He had the 3, didn't take it because he is not comfortable going to his right. Goes back to his left, throws it up. Rebound Favors. And I don't know why I guess they didn't need a new shot clock. Here's Ingram attacking Hardaway. Going to look to tie it. Favors corner 3.
No.
Way off. Not even close, and they got a foul here now. They got a foul. What are they doing? This is awful. And then now Curry's ahead of the field. Who's running down there? Now they're finally going to foul. I don't even think they made contact, frankly, on Curry. That was really bad.
Yeah, and Zion was a part of that. Luka grabbed the rebound, and there were 2 Pelicans around him, and neither of them even thought about fouling.
And why did they desperately need a 3? I really don't understand that at all. And, I mean, Favors was spaced out to the corner. Also, offense-only possession, is Favors really the best guy, especially when you're running the play to post up Zion initially? I mean, I think they got it into him just to try to get a 3 for Ball. Curry has a chance to give Dallas a nearly insurmountable lead.
He missed the first.
But he missed the first. Oh, yeah, I just assumed he would make it. I never pay attention to the free throws, so, oof. So now they'll get a chance to advance the ball once more, but they are going to need a 3.
And also, since New Orleans, they have no timeouts now, this makes, if you can foul without it being a 3-shot foul, makes it even more advantageous because now New Orleans cannot advance it.
So you imagine they're going to put Melly in, you would hope, right now. They need someone who can take a 3 off the dribble. You got to go fast here because they might foul you and put you on the line. So if that does happen, you want there to be enough time left for an intentional miss or to bring it back again. I agree, though. I would expect the foul to come. I'm like, what about like the stealth Zion play for like a Zion 3? I mean, like, because you wonder sometimes, like, the element of surprise getting a guy open versus, having your best 3-point shooter that everyone knows it's coming. There's a line there. But, I mean, we've seen him make a 3-pointer before. It has happened.
It has. A couple.
You changed your prior. So, we'll see here. I mean, Ball, he's not the most versatile jump shooter. They don't really have anyone. And maybe it's Ingram is the guy who's going to just rise up. It is Melly in for Favors. Doncic is in. Courtney Lee is in as well. They've got Kleba on Zion. They screen away for Holiday. Now they want to screen for Ingram. Zion sets the screen, and the foul takes place immediately.
And doing it on the catch was a really nice piece of work there by Dallas because there's
but
no
they're
way
not
they
in the
can
bonus, which we probably should have mentioned.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, so they get a chance to do it again here, but they do kind of take away that ATO. If you're Alvin Gentry, you would have wanted to have 2 plays set up. Looks like they're going to run the same play to the opposite side. They get it into Melly. He'll take the 3 over Porzingis and
makes it.
What a shot! Timeout, Dallas. Nikola Melli has struggled all night. Gets put in to space the floor, and it looked like they were running the same play. They're going to review this, I think, to see whether it's a 3 or not in the corner. Some fan is holding up 2, so that means it's a 2-pointer, clearly. Let's see here. We're going to watch his left foot. Woo!
That looks behind it to me.
And I think they called it he's good.
Yeah.
Wow, what? I mean, look at the position his feet are in to take that shot. Porzingis is all over him. What a shot. That's one of the better tying corner 3s we've seen. It's not as good as that crazy one that Luka had in Portland last year on the baseline, but, I mean, second best to that. What footwork over a 7'3" guy. I mean, Porzingis didn't want to foul, and great job by Melly recognizing the foul could come. Just awesome work all around for the Pels, but there's not many guys, even with his clutch struggles this year, that you'd rather have running the clock down than Luka at the end of a game. And they also have a little bit more here because the Pels don't have any timeouts. You can go a little bit earlier, not have to worry about dead bang running the shot
Yeah,
clock down.
it's more
and
like
taking
the end of a
buzzer
normal
beater.
quarter.
Yeah, yeah. So you can kind of go early, I hear, if you want to, score with 3.5 seconds left. It's not the end of the world. So I think you can throw it to Luka. Maybe try and set a screen. I'm interested to see, are they going to go put Holiday back on him now, or are they going to stick with Ball?
I think they're going to use Holiday. That's a
I
high.
mean,
leverage
Ball's
split.
done a pretty good job. I think they might stick with Ball, because Holiday wasn't doing that great of a job even before the foul trouble became an issue. So they're going to inbound it here near side. Kleba says something to Porzingis. Doncic is underneath. They'll probably bring him out to the top here, you would imagine. And they tried to bring Josh Hart in. They couldn't. Hardaway doesn't have a timeout. Gets it into Porzingis. One-on-one against Ingram. Going to his right. They force him the right way. His fadeaway on the side. No good. And it'll be overtime. Great defense by Ingram. He took him off of that left hand. Forced him to his right. He is not comfortable that way. And the shot wasn't close in the end.
The stoppable force beat the movable object there. Or I guess it should maybe be the other way around. But that was, great job by Brandon Ingram getting in there.
Yeah, we'll watch it again here. Porzingis probably commits the offensive foul. They're not going to call that in that situation. But, it started off really good defense from the Pels on the ball. They took away Doncic, denied him, forced him to get it into Porzingis, and Porzingis, not known for his passing. He might have had time to get it to Doncic, but he was not even thinking about doing that.
He was not. So to catch up on the foul situation, Ingram and Drew Holiday both have 5. Seth Curry, Nicolo Melli both have 4. Those are the ones. We'll see if Melli actually plays. But Ingram and Drew Holiday, that could end up swinging this overtime.
Yeah, and between these two offensive powerhouses, as we look at the advanced stats, 110 offensive rating, pretty much a league average offensive rating kind of game. The turnovers have hurt Dallas, 17% turnovers. Dallas has also blocked 22% of New Orleans' 2-point attempts. Porzingis was huge in that first half with the 5 blocks.
Well, and also an extremely low free throw attempt game, especially for New Orleans. New Orleans as a team has 9 free throw attempts in this entire game.
Yeah, and when you look at these 3-point shooting performances, 17 of 43, New Orleans 21 of 47 for Dallas, you'd think this would be a crazy high-scoring game, but both sides have really shut off the basket. The 2-point shooting below 50% for both squads.
And the turnovers.
So Zion, 33 minutes here. I think this will be a career high in minutes for him on a back-to-back. I'm interested to see whether he's going to play this entire overtime or not. Now, New Orleans really needs this game, obviously, for the playoff race, but, they're not going to win their first-round series regardless. This maybe shouldn't be the greatest priority in the world, but this is also a great experience for him. Looks like Favors is going to be in the game again. Kleba has never been a huge minute guy. He's on 34 minutes. Porzingis did not play. Was that last night that they played against Chicago?
I think
it was, right? Or was that Monday?
I think that was Monday.
Okay. Well, maybe, but I think that was the second end of a back-to-back. But Porzingis now 12 of 25. He's got 28 points. He's on 40 minutes right now. That's a lot of minutes for him. And they are going to start here. Yeah, it is
Zion's out.
Zion is out. So are they going to bring him back or not? He doesn't have his warm-ups on, so maybe they can give him some more minutes here at the end. Although he hasn't been that integral to what they've been doing here in the second half. Ball, pick and roll Favors, tries to get the backdoor cut. Instead, they set up Ingram for that screen. Great job by Hardaway getting through. Ingram with another attack. Mid-ranger over him. And, they tip it in. Again, Porzingis couldn't get the defensive rebound. Favors got inside position. It looked like Doncic might have gotten a hand on that.
And after Ingram had settled a few times, that was a more aggressive push towards the basket for him.
Yeah, Porzingis, again, not able to box out in that situation. Doncic taken off that step back by Ball. Curry trying to create space. Holiday shuts him down. Pick and roll. Holiday gets through that again. Curry trying to turn the corner. Holiday stops him. Great defense all around. Ball on Doncic. Then he denied Doncic. And then Holiday against Curry. Great defense as well. And good job by the Pels not over-helping either. Trusting Holiday to make that play. Here's Ball. He drives, but just blew the wide-open layup. Favors had cleared out the lane for him. Doncic, spin move on Holiday. He had the layup, didn't take it. And now the Pels have recovered. Doncic trying to post on Holiday. This will be interesting. Holiday goes down and gives up the layup. Terrible. He wanted to shove off and just, it's too big of a gamble to take right there.
Yeah, like you're conceding the bucket if you don't get the call.
Luka is under control on that play. You're not going to get that call. Same action again. It looks like now they just swing it to Ingram. He'll take it, but he's 0 for 2 here in the overtime.
I believe he's 3 for 8 total in the game from 3.
Yeah, and we haven't had a stoppage yet. Look for these guys to start getting fatigued pretty quickly here with this high level of intensity. Great defense by Holiday with the 5 fouls. Pick comes from Kleba. Good contained defense by Favors. No advantage gain on that pick and roll. Late clock. Porzingis is going to have to jack. And he's off. Rebound Holiday. No, tipped away, but it's going to be a foul loose on Maxi Kleba.
And now we'll see. This might be an opportunity to get Zion back in. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's done. No way to know that yet. But great defense. 2 possessions in a row by these Pels perimeter guys. Favors a great pick and roll defense. They force Holiday towards the baseline. He snakes it into the lane. Oh, what a pass!
That was nice.
He whipped it around the body of Porzingis. Drew Holiday and that magical left hand. That was fantastic. Zion now is at the scorer's table. New Orleans clinging to a recently gained 2-point advantage. Hardaway closed down by Ingram. Porzingis posting up. Easy look on Melly. And Melly was not ready. He's going to turn right shoulder every time. Melly wasn't ready for it.
Zion's at the table.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say it.
Here's Holiday. He'll take the 3. Aggressive shot. Ball. Oh, he went right past Doncic.
Through 4 Mavericks.
Got it. Ingram with an uncharacteristic fumble. They've got 10 on the clock now. He wants to go at Kleba. They'll switch this. Ingram to his right. Stopped by Kleba. Ball has to create late. Gets into the lane. Tries to hook it. Tips it up. Nothing there. Wow, Porzingis with the stop and ball. I mean, he's missed some bunnies around the rim that he would love to have that tip back. Zion patiently waiting. We haven't had a stoppage yet. We're 3 minutes in. These guys are exhausted right now. Porzingis trying to go to his right, shoves off, and they're going to call Ingram on this. He's done?
That's 6.
On that bullshit? Oh, man. I guess, yeah, he got the left hand in there just a little bit. I think he was trying
and I think the ref was at exactly the angle to see that left hand, like with the angle of Ingram's body, and that makes it easier to make the call.
Look how tired these guys are. I mean, when you play 3 straight minutes with no stoppages at overtime level of intensity, that is going to be exhausting. So Frank Jackson is in.
So there are 3
Melly
guards,
out.
3 guards, Zion and Favors. Josh Hart would make sense here.
Yeah, it's interesting. They went with Jackson instead, but he's been struggling shooting. It looks like they shoved Doncic in the back.
And that's free throws.
This will be free throws. But Doncic, a pretty bad 6 of 11 from the line. And I apologize. That was a foul on Ingram. Probably not a great idea to reach when you have 5 fouls like that. We never got a great close-up look at it, but I see.
Well, and the urgency of like trying to stop Kristaps Porzingis, like he's not going to beat you wholehearted.
Late clock going to his right. You just stopped him the last time. Just stay solid. He's not going to make that shot. Doncic hitting the first. Dallas has been one of the NBA's worst clutch teams this year. Doncic has really struggled in the clutch. They were really good for a time last year. Doncic had some great clutch moments, so I don't make much out of that other than just random chance. And 2 free throws for Doncic, giving Dallas the 2-point advantage. Ball, pick and roll with Zion. Now Zion going to attack. Patience, spins, goes up, scores. And Porzingis did not come over quite quickly enough. And I love the patience from Zion. He's learning just a little bit here that you can't just go right away. If you just work into position, it's harder for that shot blocker to time you up. Good rotation from Ball to get back to Doncic. Pick and roll coming here. Favors switching on to Doncic late. Step back coming here to his left. That's what it is. Throws it up and scores! 3-point advantage now for Dallas. Coming down to a minute left. Zion with the quick attack. He's fresh. He goes at Kleba, and Kleba commits the foul. His arms went down on Zion, and these will be big, big free throws here for Zion. They need these both.
And then at least one stop. I mean, and that was a huge three by Luka to push it to a 3-point game. Considering the threes that New Orleans has missed at moments in this game.
And a huge miss from Zion. He does look a lot fresher, having sat on the bench for that torrid 3-minute stretch where everyone was exhausted. Zion does find the range on the second 2-point game, but Dallas with the lead and the ball, and they will try to run it down here. Ball trying to pressure up. Favors out on the floor. Porzingis down the lane for the dunk. And they finally got Favors on that pick and roll defense, and Porzingis gets that first dunk.
Well, and Frank Jackson was the help defender. He didn't do anything to impact that.
Yeah, he's a little bit too small. Maybe Josh Hart could have made a play. Here's Holiday, easy drive, and they get that bucket 2 for 1 for the Pels. And so if they can
this is a situation where I'd trap and NBA teams never do.
Oh, absolutely. They might go for it here. Let's see. What's Gentry telling him to do? Nothing is the answer. Doncic still just working it. Getting to his right, creating space.
Oh,
he broke his ankles.
Oh,
here's the three for Kleba to ice it. He can't. Doncic tips it out. They got a foul here, and Zion will do so. There was a 1-second differential, but that wasn't nearly enough, and it'll be free throw. Doncic is exhausted.
And New Orleans there, you have to sell out to get, as soon as that shot goes up, to get the rebound. There's nothing else for you to do. And they just stood there. They didn't get man. They didn't get in the situation. And Luka, great effort.
Well, that's a reason why you box out, right? Because it's about controlling the space.
Yeah, they had 4 guys there, and there were no Mavericks. So just make sure that nobody gets into the area.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough bounce, but and those 2 free throws now have put New Orleans into difficulty. They have 2 timeouts left, so they're not dead yet, but they need a 3 here for sure.
And you know what happened?
What?
The overhit.
Stratman. What a visionary. So now again, with Ingram out, who they're going to run this play for, I really don't know. I hopefully they'll get it 3. I think Holiday is probably their best chance. The quick 2, maybe you take it if the 3 isn't there, but obviously then you're in a situation where if they make 2 free throws again, you're right back.
Yeah, I would go for a 3 unless it's like an obvious dunk, and then you also have to press the inbound, which they haven't done a great job of so far.
Yeah. Now Dallas has 2 timeouts left. There's the key shot from Doncic. You knew that step back to his left was coming on that play, and Favors couldn't stop it. And then Doncic with just a great pass. Favors one of the rare times, as we're seeing the highlight here, that he didn't quite recover back to his man quickly enough in pick and roll defense, but that is a next level pass right by the foot of Favors into the
so
dunk
we have it.
pocket.
Dallas, negative 19.3 clutch net rating, 95 offensive rating, 12 and 19 in games within 5 points within 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, the Pels are like one of the worst clutch teams.
They're even worse,
them, right?
Yeah, they're negative 2.8.
All right, here we go. Let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to try and get a 3? Melly is in the game. Zion, no, quick attack by him right down the lane. Right-handed finish looks good. So at least they got it quick. Now they're going to try to deny it in bounds, and Rick Carlisle isn't going to fuck around. They're going to just call the timeout and advance the ball here. Probably the right decision.
And New Orleans here, put your defensive personnel in the game. I mean,
yeah, they tried to get hard in before the last possession of regulation, couldn't do it. Yeah, so I mean, Zion, there's definitely not many guys you'd rather have attacking quickly for the 2, and good to see him actually shoot with his right hand. But I still would have liked the primary option to be a 3 there. And we'll see if they can get a steal. Alvin Gentry, if you do somehow get a steal, you got to be aware of when to call timeout. If it's later on or you don't have the advantage right away, you probably want to call that timeout. But that's a remote chance of even getting the steal. And Luka Doncic probably going to be the guy here. If you can, you want to get it to Curry. He's their best free throw shooter by far. But Doncic, in the 76% range, like that, odds are he's going to miss one. Maybe it's actually a little bit higher odds that he'll make them both, but still a decent chance of missing, which is all you can ask for. But Doncic is going to inbound it here. Hardaway, also an excellent foul shooter. He'll start from the weak side. They can't get it to him. get it to Porzingis. They're going to body him up, and now Melli will commit the foul with 8.6 remaining. And Porzingis needs both of these to basically end the game. Yeah, that's 77% on the graphic, a career low. He's on 32 points and just nothing but net on that first one. Favors is in. This augurs that they're going to call a timeout regardless of what happens here. With 8.6 left, that's really the
and
only
that makes
option.
sense because if you you want to use, if they have to do this again, you want to use the ball flying across the court instead of the timeout.
Yep.
That makes sense.
But we are pretty much done here now. New Orleans will take their final timeout. 8.6 left, and really, even if you make a three on this possession, you're going to be very hard pressed with no timeouts to get in position for what would likely require another three after this. But we'll stay with you till the bitter end here.
And for those who've enjoyed this, we had a fairly long gap between NBA casts. We do not this time. We're going to be back on Sunday. Sunday for, I believe it's
Lakers Clippers, right?
Lakers
Hold
Clippers.
on, I'll double check. I got it. But
I know it's Sunday. I just don't know what game it is.
Yeah, the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a live, well, not live, but an in-window game on the NBA's Twitch channel. It'll be a rebroadcast of Portland and Houston from last year. That's gonna be at 2 Eastern and 11 Pacific the following Sunday, March 15th. So if you actually want to not have to sync up and watch a game, yeah, it's a replay. Would appreciate some feedback actually on how to do that as well.
We're figuring it out.
Like, we kind of, you sort of know the outcome of the game. I don't remember the game very well. Do we just call it like it's live? Do we kind of intersperse between, knowing what's going to happen, but also calling it live? It'll be interesting. All right, so here's ball looking to inbound. They screen away for Melli. Good switch by Hardaway onto him. Way cross court to Holiday. He'll jack the three. That's off, and that's going to do it here. Scrum underneath. Doncic emerges, and Dallas will close it out with a 127-123 victory. Tough loss here for the Pels. They've now lost 2 straight on this back-to-back.
And they have a soft schedule the remainder of the season. This was not among those soft games.
Yeah, their next 4 are actually quite difficult.
Yeah, and then it gets easier after that. And so a pretty big night also for the Memphis Grizzlies, who crushed the Nets and get a loss from New Orleans, though Portland's going to win their game.
Yeah, recapping it here, Zion, 21 points, 9 of 18 from the field. Derek Favors had 10 points. He was a team best, plus 10. Melli, 1 out of 7, but he did have that crazy tying 3, which went for naught in the end. Seth Curry had 14 of his 21 in the first half and made 4 of 4 3-pointers during that period. Doncic, 30 points. Porzingis, 34 points, led Dallas.
So thank you so much for watching. We will be back on Sunday, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern for Lakers Clippers. You can listen to Dunked On tonight and basically every night, 5 times a week moving forward. And patreon.com/DuncanLaRue. Bookies.com. Tell them that you came from us.